Up and Adam. What up,
You said
everybody?
it was your kids playing that music, Ken?
That
No,
that was Jalen.
no, absolutely not.
Hell no, he can't let that happen. That'd be crazy.
Kids are not in my house.
Bro, you don't chill out, Spike. If you don't chill out.
Speaking of that, though, I do have a question. What's
Jalen, you know I love you, my brother.
oh, what's an artist? What's an artist you listen to now that you will feel comfortable playing around your kids? And rap artists. I ain't talking about like the Sade shit like that.
I play everything,
Yeah.
so it don't matter. Like cussing, like I was listening to Big Crit, and it was like I'm the King of the South Ho or something like that, or whatever song it was, and he was just going off, like, yeah. So I think I may be hesitant to play like 2 Live Crew or something like that, because they just very super explicit. But for the most part, I don't censor music around them.
FIFA, I asked the question: what's an artist you listen to now that you comfortable playing around your kid, your son? Like, are you
Primo
comfortable?
Rice.
Oh, you've been playing that around him?
Yeah, that's actually his favorite rapper. That's why I mentioned it.
Who is it?
Primo Rice. He's like a pimp rapper, like a less explicit or graphic Too Short. You know what I'm saying? That vein, but just very
From
playalistic.
Detroit, right?
From
He from
PG County, Maryland.
Maryland, DC area.
Oh.
Yeah, Nick put us on.
Yeah, Nick put us on, and then somebody on Instagram or Twitter had put us on too. But yeah, like
I listen to Larry
like
June around my kids if I have them.
Yeah, I listen to Larry.
That's safe as hell.
What
is that? Is it bedtime when that happens?
Yeah, I'm about to say those are lullaby raps.
Like, I listen to Griselda around my son. My wife just in the back. I don't know if y'all heard her, but she was like terrible. But yeah,
money.
I'm asking because like growing up at shows, I don't know. Were you comfortable playing anything around your kids?
Yeah, I played pretty much as I could. I mean, somebody would probably say something to me, but I played pretty much anything.
Yeah, because I mean, growing up, that was like I grew up in a house full of women though, so like they were really.
Me too.
One main one is the African woman. She wasn't trying to play none of that rap shit. Like explicit. That's why I grew up mostly on like the neo soul, Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott-ish era, where it was like you could listen to this, but this is about as far as you get. I had to go to the homie's crib to listen to 50 and all them. But I didn't know if that still went down as far as like, do you kind of curate a playlist of artists in front of your kids versus what you listen to by yourself?
Today they got a lot more exposure to things that we didn't have exposure to. Like we had to play in my era, we had to play like tapes and CDs, of course. In this era, everything's just digital. They can find music. Like my daughter could be listening to something right now in front of me and I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't even tell what she's playing. Back then, you had to have a hard copy of whatever you were listening to. So it was a little more difficult to get to music at that point. So it was a lot easier to censor as opposed to now.
I think also maybe just growing up with it may have changed that for me. Like I don't censor really anything around them either. I think it's up to me to guide them and let them know what's appropriate. And for the most part, they do anyway. But nah, I never have. We watch stuff on television or any stuff like that. It doesn't matter. These kids are so self-aware nowadays that censoring it won't even do any good. Like they know everything. And it's partly to what Shelton's talked about because of the internet. If you can keep it from them on TV, but you have to take TikTok, you have to take social media, school, yeah, everything, bro. They know everything, like fully.
Let me ask y'all this then: what do they play around y'all? Like your oldest kid or Shelton, your kids, like what do they play around y'all?
Kendall doesn't play anything because he's not into music. But he listens to anime. Miles will play whatever's on YouTube Shorts. They're in terms of like when they're watching something on YouTube. I mean, it has profanity in it and stuff like that. My wife would say something like that, but you know, it'd be profanity, like all kind of stuff. But it, you know, it
Ain't no
don't
Boss
bother me.
Man D-Lo or nothing like that, is it?
Oh, they'll listen to some Boss Man
Yeah.
D-Lo. Miles would
That's
before
funny.
Kendall
Yeah.
would. Yeah.
That's
Because it'll be shorts or a meme
Yeah.
or something like that. So they'll see it.
Yeah, yeah. My kids play a lot of Atlanta rappers I ain't never heard of. They play a lot of stuff. I'm like, I don't know what that is they listen to, but it's a few different things that they'll play. But I try to stay in tune with what they listen. And my son he rap a little bit too, so I listen to his stuff. You know,
He cursed.
yeah, he does. My mom on here too. Sorry, ma.
I was
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
what's the subject matter, son? What are you talking about? what are you talking about?
Hey, my mama probably calling him right now.
She asking the same question I'm asking.
Nick is stupid, bro. I ain't want to ask that, but I do want to
I
know.
got to know.
Yeah.
What you mean?
He put it out there.
See, I'm about to
Spike.
say, he said it like he trying to promote it.
Right. Hey, look, what's funny is I listen to him for, you know, because you know, we go on trips and stuff. If we riding in the car, we'll pass the aux around and I'll listen to what they're listening to for a minute before I realize it was him. I didn't even know it was him. So he didn't even tell me. But yeah, no. But he talk about a little bit of everything. It's pretty cool though. He
What's a little bit of
pretty
everything? As I'm trying to. What's
How many people have he shot in songs?
Huh?
What's
Oh no, he
go-to?
can't. Hey, I already put out there. I said if the first lies you start telling, I'm shutting all that down because you ain't seen the project, so don't play. Don't.
What if he said I came from nothing? Nobody ever did shit.
He said, "Daddy
Man.
wasn't there."
Yeah, I ain't had no
Made it out
dad,
the mud.
Oh, shit, you would have had to pull over. Like, nah,
Yeah.
bro. You had to see me, bro. Oh,
He,
that's funny.
he only gonna pull over until he see them checks coming in. He
Right,
like-
right.
he
They'd be like, nope, your daddy wouldn't. Your daddy wasn't nothing, boy.
man. If he asked you the same vocals on the background, would you?
You know, I was actually working on something for him, but I ain't gave it to him yet, so I gotta finish. It's me being lazy, so I gotta finish it. But yeah, just to do it ain't nothing that I would want him to put out. Just something to do with him. To say we did it.
I asked because I feel like, and again, we got to get to the show. We get to the show, but I asked because like my sister, she is very much sensitive to what my nieces listen to, and they don't have cell phones yet. The oldest is 13, the youngest is about to be. I think she's either 10 or 11, and they just got iPads. So
At 13?
yeah, because like they trying to get cell phones, like they trying to be with their friends and all that stuff. And my sister's like, nah, she's trying to kick the can on that for as long as she can, probably
She
till
got
like
it on lock,
Keeping
bro.
the African, she keeping
Yeah.
the African heritage alive.
Hey, bro, she trying to make the Ugandans great again, nigga.
Hey, that's so tough though. That's tough though, Nick, man. Because when you
But
try to
I get it though. I somewhat get it because like some of the shit that you can get exposed to just in like a YouTube rabbit hole, which sometimes I see like my niece when they were younger, they would get into some shit and I like just random things. Like it'll start off like, oh, they're watching Barbie this and all this, and all of a sudden you just see somebody with a doll doing some goofy shit.
Yeah.
In the background, I'm like, all right, what the hell is this? But to Ken's point, like you can't, it's just too much. You can't censor it all. You kind of have to learn with them.
yeah, because if you try to censor, and here's this, and then like I said, we gotta go. But if you try to censor, they're getting it from somewhere else, and they just gonna want it even more because they're pulling it all in from other places. I remember when I was gonna have to talk with my son, just real quick. I was gonna have to talk with him, and he came home that day, and I started the Birds and the Bees talk, and he told me more stuff that I ain't. I'm like, dang, I ain't know that.
Hey,
Shelton got the pad out, man. So listen, bro. So I'm like, no, you know, where did this come from? Oh, we talk about it in school all the time. So I'm like, dang, first off, they ain't even let us know that they were talking to him about this stuff, but it's out there. So, you know, you can't keep nothing from these kids. Hey, I didn't, and I wasn't yelling at my son, I was yelling at my daughter.
Hey, Sheldon, what is it? Tiana Trump done told me more than you could ever show me, Daddy.
Bro. Hey, dog, for real, man. Hey, look, I was behind.
Dang. What was that page again, son? What was that Twitter profile you told me about?
We definitely about to get started now because Shelton's saying too much.
Showing all types of stories. Man. I don't know what's in that cup.
Man.
Shit.
Oh man! All right. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we have Nick, Spike, FIFO, and Shelton J. What up, y'all?
What's happening? What's happening?
We are now in the second round of the playoffs. So that's what we will be talking about tonight. Glad to have you guys on board. Make sure you gotta let everyone know that we are now live. Hit the thumbs up button, the like button. Leave a comment if you guys are watching this after the fact. If you guys are listening to this on Spotify, you can leave a comment on there as well. And yeah, man, we appreciate having you guys around. We are moving along. Things are gonna pick up from here. You know, now that the first round is over, thankfully, we had a couple of game sevens that take place. So, and we're here to talk about what we are going to look forward to in round two. But before we do that, as we always do, we're going to kick things off with the best performance of the week. And it sounds like it may have been Shelton's son, bro.
Putting the Wilt numbers.
Man. The best performance of the week will go towards boxing, and it's not even the performance of the week because, to be honest, boxing, if you watch this weekend, was horrible. They had some horrible fights. They fought in Times Square, which I would have loved to have been there, but it just wasn't good fights. And boxing as a whole has been going down. But the best part of the week was the ring after the fight from Canelo Alvarez. They announced the big fight between him and Terrence Crawford, the super fight, on September 12th, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. It's the fight. It should be the fight of the century. You got two of the best fighters in boxing, the biggest ticket. You need to be there. You need to be there watching this fight. Even if you don't like boxing, watch this fight. You finally get the best of the best, and this is the best performance of the week. Shout out to boxing for finally making a real fight when you got two fighters in their prime. So this is my best performance of the week.
Canelo still in this prime?
He is.
Tail end. He's in the tail end of it, but he's still in his prime.
He's still in his prime, Lou. He's still the big ticket, and he's still got a lot of power in those hands. And this is a styles fight because you got power on one side, and you got skill on the other. So you get a fight where two fighters won't be backing down. So yeah, it's worth it.
I thought that was Kawhi Leonard for a second. What's going on here? All right, cool. I'm sure there's not a lot of commentary about that. So we're going to move on. We are officially in the second round of the 2025 NBA playoffs after two games in the Western Conference went to game 7. Reportedly, the weakest conference, according to Nick. The Los Angeles Lakers and Clippers, both LA teams, were eliminated from the playoffs last week in disappointing fashion. As we did last time, man, we need to do our exit interviews. What is one thing each team should focus on improving going into next week? And before we get into that,
Next week or next year?
Next season. I'm sorry. Yes, next season. But
next week, they can't wait, FIFA, next week.
The Lakers, as a 3-seed, have never lost in the first round of the playoffs, and the Clippers, since acquiring Paul George in 2019, have only made it out of the first round of the playoffs once, and that is in 2020 to 2021.
I will say this. The one thing that the Lakers need to do is just improve internally. We saw what JJ Redick said about weight and stamina. So, that's part of the reason why Luka got traded. Luka has to be better. And here's the thing. It's not about being a lockdown defender. It's about being a willing defender and not playing Olay defense. When you watch the likes of Steph Curry is no defensive stalwart. However, he expends energy on the defensive side of the ball. Does he get scored on at times? Of course. in playoff matchups, do they seek him out at times? Of course, but at the end of the day, he holds his own, and Luka does it. So Luka needs to improve his everything that's physical about him. I saw this one montage on Instagram where they were saying young Luka, you know what I'm saying, had like 147 dunks his rookie year, and like since the last 4 or 5 years, the man's barely had 50 dunks. So
Shit.
he needs to get more spry on his legs, Ken. He has old man game, but he looked like an old man already. So that's not a compliment in this instance. Hey, he need to get on the LeBron James train of eating and training. And for the Clippers, you got to trade James Harden, bro. James Harden is the issue. And we'll talk about that in my power rankings as well. But James Harden is the issue. When it comes to elimination games, him stepping up and being the guy that he is typically throughout the regular season and non-elimination playoff games, I don't know what happens, but it doesn't look good. And he's the first player in NBA history to lose 4 game 7s on 4 different teams. So that's not something that you want to be a part of. Got to trade James Harden.
People, I heard you mention a lot about Luka, but you didn't talk about any of the real issues with the Lakers, which is the others and LeBron. To me, you gotta look at that.
I could only mention one thing though. Ken said, "What's one thing you would change?" So that's the one thing. He said one. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing that needs to change.
The one thing that you would change is Luka needs to be in shape or play defense.
By him being in shape, he'll have the stamina to play defense.
I look at Luka as being Luka, and he's gonna do what he's been doing this whole time. So I look at more or less the others. Everybody has to step up on that team. Everybody does, including Luka. But for the most part, you got to figure out who your others are going to be, and make sure that you round out a team with players that can play the game as a whole. When you play a game where you only playing 5 players in the second half, that means you don't trust anybody on that team. So you got to look at all those players. You got to have more than that to be able to manufacture wins in the league and to advance. So we know what Luka is. We know what he's going to do. And in Dallas, they structured everything around him. It was good enough to get to the finals. It was good enough to advance in the playoffs several times to get, they may have not made it to the finals, but they still were able to win games with him doing what he's doing right now. So what you need to do is put players around him that are skilled players that make things happen. You had shooters, you had PJ, that's a shooter, a post player that can shoot, and you had people that were aggressive around him. So you need to surround him with players like that and figure out what you're going to do with LeBron.
But the Lakers need his big man. We all seen that. But what has to happen for the next season is JJ Redick has to coach better. He was okay closing out the season. I know they went on a strong run. But some of those things, like Sheldon talked about, playing only 5 people in the second half, like some of these things you just can't do as a coach. And he has this like mentality where I seen the media dude question him before the game, asking was he going to consult with his assistants on the subs and stuff. And he got mad and walked out. Like JJ Redick, the same way that he called out Luka and was talking about people need to be more in shape, he got to be a better basketball coach. It's better. It's one thing to know basketball, which he does. I'll give him that 100%. He probably forgot more basketball than I know. I've watched the podcast. I see how much he know about basketball. When we talk about strategy and what he needed to do to help the Lakers win some games in the playoffs, he couldn't do that. And we saw that. And he got mad about it.
What about the Clippers?
The Clippers, man. They ain't gonna do shit. Like, who knows? Like, get rid of James Harden, bro. Like, James Harden never gonna do anything in a game 7 that's gonna, just get rid of James Harden. That's what's gonna have to happen.
When y'all talk about getting rid of James Harden, who are y'all replacing him with?
It don't even matter.
Whatever you can get.
Whatever you can get at this point.
Yeah.
For me, it's too many things with either one of these teams. It's not one thing, but I will say the main thing. I think asking JJ to be better is pointless because he's probably gonna get fired in the next 2 to 3 years, if that. Because once either LeBron's gonna retire, he'll get fired, or he'll get fired right before LeBron retires. Either way, that's on a 2 to 3 year timeline. I think the main thing, I guess, for the Lakers is I can't even say conditioning because it's just Fat Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of everybody on the team, he the one that's out of shape. And that the reason why I called that shit out is because, Ken, if I told you we'll pay you over $100 million or let's say $30 million a year to play basketball, all you gotta do is just stay in shape. I don't think that's much of an ask. You know what I'm saying? And he lost $100 million because he wasn't in shape. So you would think he'll be more excited to just, get to do that. Again, like you said, FIFA, he has to go into the LeBron James camp this summer and get right. Otherwise, I think people are going to put some onus on LeBron for like, why aren't you getting him in shape either? Like, this is supposed to be you passing the torch on him. I'm saying, like, why is he helping him get in shape? Because LeBron, and I think it's probably the only one.
Like, what I'm supposed to do? Drag him to the beach?
Yeah, like as a leader, like people look at LeBron is a leader, he's a leader of the league. So if he can't mentor Luka, who will? It ain't gonna be JJ. It ain't gonna be Rob Pelinka.
I was just gonna say, I think the thing about the Lakers and people giving Luka, who doesn't play defense, a lot of crap, it's still because the team isn't built for Luka to be on the floor. Dallas was able to compensate and make it to the finals with Luka playing defense like he did because they had rim protectors. The Lakers don't have nobody over 6'8" in the game, so of course Luka's gonna look a lot worse playing defense because ain't nobody back there to help them.
But what did it look like in the finals when they made it and they played against Boston? It was Ole defense all over the place.
Somebody got
him
hurt,
complaining to the refs, bro. But at the end of the day, he didn't have the stamina to look. Defense is all about resistance in basketball, right? And it's and that comes down to sheer will. We're not asking you to go lock people up. What we're asking you to do is to make a person take an extra dribble or two or a step or two instead of just letting them go right by you, regardless if you got rim protection at the rim or not.
FIFA, I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh, sorry, FIFA. I'm with you on that. It's just what I'm saying though is that can't be your major problem if it was good enough to get him to the finals. That's not your major problem. Your major problem still has to be the others. That if Luka being fat, not playing defense, being out of shape, and all the things we talk about him, was still able to get those numbers and guide that team single-handedly, if you want to put it that way, to the finals. We know he could do it again with the right cast around him. You just got to make sure you got the right people in place to help him to do so. Now, I'm with you. I want him to do these things. I want him to get in shape. He needs to. I agree he needs to. But that is not the factor when you're talking about him being able to be successful.
I just didn't want to skate past Nick's point of saying LeBron will be held accountable if we start holding LeBron accountable. Like, that's kind of crazy. I'm wondering.
I'm only saying that, Jay, not because it has anything to do with LeBron, but it's like he's the biggest star between the two. He may not be the best player between the two. That's arguable. But he's the bigger star, and they're always going to put the onus. Like, even when AD was there, like, people are always going to criticize LeBron more than anybody on the team. So that's why I'm saying, like, if Luka doesn't get in shape, they're going to say, LeBron, what are you doing to help him get, like, you know what I'm saying? They're going to push blame.
I mean, they're doing it now, Nick.
Yeah, they're going to push blame off of Luka until LeBron leaves.
But I mean, retires. I guess my pushback is coming more so from, do you believe that? Like, should he have some responsibility in that? Like, I care less what other people think. Because again, LeBron is going to get.
I say 60. I would say 60-40. 60-40. I would put responsibility on LeBron. I mean, 40% I put on LeBron, 60 on Luka. I do think that LeBron should be like, hey, bro, we gonna, like, if we want to get far, I need your help.
That's a big piece of the pie, though.
Yeah, that's a big piece of the pie.
That's not big. That's not even
hold on, y'all. Hold on. So do you feel the same way about Shaq's career?
When he was with who?
Kobe.
Well, they won chips, so I can't really say it was a failure. So I can't say no. I would say
Shaq should have been better for longer. Would you agree?
I think they'd won 3 rings. What more do you want?
Again, Shaq should have been better for longer.
That's fine, but Shaq, I get what y'all saying, but I feel like it's different because Shaq was still able to win a ring after his he was still in his prime for a long time. LeBron isn't in his prime anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shaq wasn't in his prime for a long
Kobe
time.
called him out
He
for
is
that too.
Dominant.
LeBron right now better than Shaq in Miami.
100%. 100%.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
Jalen has
I'm not
point, but Kobe called Shaq out for not being in shape.
And
That
I
was
don't
a
think
big issue between them.
I don't think LeBron is going to call him
That's
out
why he
publicly.
left.
Shaq's thing, the whole thing was Shaq's thing is what Nick is saying. He said, bro, look at the numbers, and I'm still winning rings.
Exactly.
What
So it's like,
difference does it make?
what do you complain? Like the result is winning championships. We're saying that the reason why they didn't go far, they didn't get out the first round, is because, well, outside of JJ, Luka wasn't in shape and he didn't do his part when it mattered the most.
And they pussyfooting around that. They don't even want to be direct and call him out.
But I don't even.
Exactly.
I don't
Right.
even. I guess I'm still gonna push back on that because the comparison would still be flawed because they had Phil Jackson, they had a better all-around team than what the Lakers team has right now. So I mean, even what you're saying, all that you even talk about Big Shot Rob. So I mean, y'all act like these pieces weren't there when they were winning. Like they don't have any of those pieces right now in LA. So I guess I just don't see the point of putting this on LeBron because LeBron has nothing to do with his weight.
I'm not putting a majority of anything on LeBron. If you're asking me personally,
damn majority, nigga, 40%.
Yeah, 40%.
I'm going off of what I believe will be the perceived notion as far as going into next season. If they get bounced out in the first round again, or not,
why are you worried about the third party?
You don't think
worry about what
that's
you don't
what
think.
I asked. Do you think that?
Yeah.
We asked that. What franchise are we talking about? We talking about LA. All this shit matters, bro. The reason why Shaq left it ain't because it was just they was winning chips, and he still left because the thought process.
That don't matter though. You not gonna blame LeBron if Luka come back out of shape. You not gonna.
I'm not. But I'm saying like I can see how this thing will go to shit quickly if he doesn't get into shape, and I'm just laying out the different variables that are going to be brought up to say that this is the reason why they couldn't get things done. They're gonna blame some LeBron. They're gonna blame Luka for being like, it's like there's a lot of things that have to happen in my mind for the Lakers to get right. And one of them is Luka being in shape, but it's also, again, it's JJ coaching better, like you said, Lou. It's also them getting a better roster overall, which is on Rob Pelinka, even though you could argue he made the best move this whole season.
Well, did he?
There's you could argue. There's
everything hinges on Luka being in shape, and Nico traded him because he seen and said he ain't getting in shape, bro. He been here for all this time. He ain't got in shape. He made it to the finals. He think the way that he doing it gonna work it. You have to look at this trade a little bit different. If like it played out just like Nico,
you will make the trade 9 times out of 10, regardless.
There's a path. There's a path where Nico was right though. He's like, bro, we never going to win a championship with this dude because, like, let's say next year happens and he don't get in shape and he don't play the defense that y'all are talking about. Each time that happens, Nico looks more and more right and less like a crazy person.
So two things, Spike. I will agree that adding to the narrative that you're talking about, even the teams in Spain and also his home country that he played for. You gotta remember, he's been a professional since like 13, 14 years
16,
old.
Yeah.
Since 16, like they've been complaining about that aspect of him since then. So this precedes Nico and the Dallas Mavericks, right? That's number one. The other part of this thing is Daniel, something you said. I had another point and I just forgot it like that. But I'll just add to what you said in terms of it just being a bad look. The perceived notion of this being a good trade for Nico because of the issues that we see with Luka and it transpiring on the court. The only thing that is an issue with the trade is that he didn't probe for more. You know what I'm saying? Like to me as a GM, fair. Not saying that. And remember, I'm one of the people that like the trade both ways. I think that they still could have got more in terms of draft compensation, but the player for what he is like, and the way that Dallas is constructed, I feel it. I get it. But at the end of the day, the one thing that I could definitely blame Nico for is not trying to get more. But trading him, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. We can't even talk about that no more because we know that ain't. I still know that ain't.
Don't
right.
know that, bro. If his reasoning, Shelton, if his reasoning was he's never going to get in shape and he can't play defense and it takes defense to win championships, and we're talking about this same thing next year if they go out in the first round, every year that happens, he's more and more right.
Then anybody with a pulse makes him available to 31 or 30 of the other teams in the league.
That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation.
That's why I said it's the same one. But back to the point. The point of the matter is that Luka LeBron has no control over Luka. He don't. All he can do is extend the invitation. This is the NBA, and he has no power to make somebody come train with him. He can say, hey man, I want you to train. He can say whatever he want to say, but he technically has no power in this situation to do anything. We know that. So,
and another reason why I should explain fully, because I know Ken has thoughts as well, but I want to say for the Clippers, yes, you should get rid of James Harden. I don't think it will work. At this point, you need to blow up the whole team. I lost all my cryptocurrency, Shelton, on Game 7. And Ken, it was a coin flip game. Don't roll your eyes. Anybody could have won that game. You didn't think they was gonna come out and get Game 6 was basically Game 7. That was elimination game. James Harden showed up, and he was at the press conference. He got me hyped. I thought he was going to say, he said, I got it. They said, you gonna come out doing this? He was like, yeah, I got to. I ain't got no other choice. Apparently, it was a choice because 7 points is nasty for Game 7. So I think they just need to blow up the whole team. Shout out to Ty Lue, even though he fucked up.
That's what I was about to ask you, Nick. So what's up with Ty Lue?
Ty Lue fucked up because like I said, it should have been Clippers in 4. It should have not even went to 7 because Game 1 they had a lead, they blew it, and Game 4 should not have a dunk by Aaron Gordon. Right now, Aaron Gordon is arguably, if the Nuggets go far, he's gonna be Finals MVP because he's saving their season right now. If you just look at the games.
He's their Jamal Murray this season in the playoffs.
He making more clutch shots than Joker. That's all I'm saying. But for me, with the Lakers, the reason why is like Luka still has to re-sign with them long term. The reason why I'm talking about blame being put elsewhere is because JJ can't come out and say it. He hasn't. LeBron won't be able to come out and say it because he's already say that he is the problem and he needs to fix himself.
JJ said it. He ain't said specifically, but that's what he alluded to.
If you ain't saying specifically, you ain't saying it at all. So my thing,
said it, and I think the message was received.
Said it.
I don't think it's received. It's only received until it's only received until next season. The reason why I'm saying
what he was talking about.
The big part of this is Luka's supposed to be the Lakers' next 10 to 15 years, right? He's their star. He's supposed to be their superstar. So they're not going to heavily criticize him until the deal is and the ink is signed, first and foremost. So that's why I'm saying next season, if he doesn't come in, if it replays how it did this season somehow, some way, people are going to point fingers at LeBron, even though they shouldn't. They will just because they're like, we can't really sit on him just yet because he hasn't re-signed. Because if he could leave, if him and LeBron leaves, this is the worst trade ever because Rob Pelinka did all that to get him and he couldn't keep him. And you're supposed to be the key franchise.
So Nick, I will say this, and this is the reason why like timing is everything. Lakers have the leverage here. Luka doesn't anymore because he has the bird rights, right? Like when he got traded, he couldn't sign the Supermax anymore because of the trade, but the Lakers could still sign him for the most money that any other team could sign him for. He already lost $100 million by getting traded. He's going to leave more money on the table by going to another team. I don't see that happening. He's going to get his coins, and because of how the things have played out, he doesn't have the leverage to say, I want a signing trade. Like I don't see why the Lakers would accommodate him in that, depending on what they're getting in return, But from a money perspective, the Lakers have all the leverage in this instance. He's gonna sign with the Lakers, bro. Like he can't leave. He'd be a fool for leaving more mony on the table. But he already did in Dallas.
If LeBron is gone and the roster is what it is, because you can't have more than 2.
You got to get your money first, bro. This is his first re-up.
I get you. I'm just saying, like, that's the conversations that I'm hearing is that he could possibly leave if he don't like his situation.
I don't think
that's a lot of money, bro. I want to say that's the difference of like 40 to 60 million. He already lost 100 million. So we're talking about over 150 million on the table. Nah, bro. I just don't see it. Now here's the thing. You understand on business and it's not about the money because you already rich as hell. Then I just don't see it from a business perspective, bro. I don't see how that it's never happened.
Well, as everybody in the chat been pointing out, we know they need a center. That's obvious. They can go get one. Will they be good? I don't know. I think it comes down to whether or not JJ gonna play the motherfucker. So JJ clearly is the issue. It was his rookie season. He lost this series for me when I look at it. And he lost it when he decided to play his whole starting team in the second half for 24 minutes. That was the series he lost it. You up 10. To passively call out the team and say that they need to be in better shape is total BS, because they were in shape. I just don't believe any of that he's saying. Why don't he can't be direct because they need to get Luka back. So he don't want to call him out.
Exactly.
But he said there are individuals that were in phenomenal shape. There's certainly other ones that could have been in better shape. That's where my mind goes immediately, is we have to get in championship shape. We know LeBron is in shape, as the best shape he could be in at age 40. Those other guys are pretty much young. We know who he's talking about. Everybody knows who he's talking about. But at the end of the day, this team should have beaten the Wolves, and they did not. And JJ made a lot of coaching mistakes. So the one thing they need to fix is they need to go ahead and get a center. I just don't know if that will be enough, because LeBron will be a year older, and unless Luka come back looking like Larry Bird or somebody else, then they're gonna have the same issues over and
Go
over
get
again.
Giannis.
They got Bronny. What you mean, FIFO? What he doing in the G League this week?
But y'all spent a lot of time talking about the goddamn Lakers, and y'all done ate up all the damn time, and now we got to move on. But y'all let the Clippers skate by.
I
on
told
some
you.
bullshit.
I called him out. I said Ty Lue fucked up.
You said Ty Lue was the best coach in the league.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Like
I said
it's atrocious that y'all just let this Clippers what's been in the chat about them only been out of the first round.
Hey, Ken, the only person we really need to hear from is Nick.
It's Nick.
Because nobody else was drinking the Clippers juice.
I tried to tell you. Hey, Sheldon, all series long, what I've been saying, I said they fucked up.
Yeah, you slid it. You got
They fucked up.
You try to pull a shit in the head and hedge your bitch. That's what you did.
I called it up when the game happened. I was like, bro, game one shouldn't have happened.
I mean, it's easy to say that when you're wrong.
Right.
Like, you have to admit it. You
I
know,
was
that's
wrong.
Let me get out in front of this.
I respect.
I didn't get out in front of this.
But we got to talk about the talking points, though. 18 of 21 that they came in, they were extremely hot.
All right. If you want to say something, go ahead and say something.
Ty Lue blew multiple games in that series as the best coach. You said he had James Harden playing on his best basketball. You said that about Russell Westbrook last year. Everybody was talking about Chris Dunn and all this stuff. Ty Lue is overrated as a coach.
Yes.
He got that one ring off LeBron. Ty Lue, as I said, and B is saying it too, if we're calling him out, he is a modern day version
Ty
of
Rivers.
Doc Rivers.
Don't say
Ty
it, bro.
Rivers.
Nick, I'm sorry, bro.
Ty Rivers.
It's Ty Rivers.
Jalen, cut his mic. Cut his mic.
Ty Rivers. We got it. It is. Look, let's go back. We have plenty of tape and tapes about this. Everybody said this team was built to win a championship. They are Paul George, best team ever. We couldn't wait. It never happened because the Clippers fucking failed. Yeah. The Lakers and LeBron went on and got a title. No matter how you look at it, the fact is they got a damn ring before the Clippers. Yeah. And even since then have gone further than the Clippers.
He like a bad hairline. You got to let it go. He and they had an opportunity to overtake the Lakers, and they just didn't get it done, man.
I'm not disagreeing with most of what you saying, Ken. I just can't never compare Ty Lue to Doc Rivers. I'm sorry. It ain't there yet. They wasn't up 3-1. That's the reason why he's egregious. Because he was my thing is with Ty Lue is if I am gonna shoot him bail and I'm the only one that's gonna do it. I thought we stand up for black men. Y'all always talk about how I call out black coaches, but y'all want to do this to Ty Lue. Kawhi was hurt most of his tenure there. The Western Conference Finals
series though.
He wasn't. The Western Conference Finals appearance, and he didn't show, and Kawhi didn't show up for Game 7. If you want me to be honest, the Western Conference Finals, Kawhi got hurt, and I guess the last 2 seasons Kawhi was hurt. We don't know how those seasons went. Those are a lot of ifs. I'm not drinking tonight. You know what I'm saying? We already celebrated Cinco de Mayo yesterday, FIFO. So I got to do a rest day. But I think that if I am going to be honest, and if I'm going to hold people to the fire, I think Ty Lue probably does need to go. I think that's why I said I think you need to blow up the whole thing. I know they re-signed Kawhi, but that's probably just to sell tickets. But it's not just Harden. And they do have a good squad. And I know that as y'all were talking about the Lakers thing, I'm thinking who can they trade Harden for to get back as a point guard that can do like a Darius Garland type of effort. You know what I'm saying? Not then splashy, but it's consistent enough for Kawhi to work off of. I don't have that guy who's not already committed to another team.
And the other
Yeah,
thing
you
is
do.
only a matter of time before Harden turns on him. What you got, Shelton? And then we'll
The
go
guy,
to Brett.
the guy we always try to trade for in Atlanta.
Trey Young.
Oh, hell nah.
Why not?
He better than James Harden, and he don't shy away in the big moment. We know that.
That's true.
Yeah, but he's a small guard though.
They're gonna light it. They will light him up in the finals.
But he has defense behind him, and you got the other guys. He got help. That's really all he needs. You're gonna need to help out on the offensive end. Him and Kawhi would be a monster.
But James Harden can't come to Atlanta. Bro.
That's what I was gonna say. James,
the strip club economy is about to be up 1,000%.
All right. Well, that's that. We'll leave it there, man. We'll be right back after this quick break.
If you're looking for real conversations and motivations to be your best, then you have to check out Another Week in the Books. Another Week in the Books with Spike, Lou, and Rich is your go-to podcast for growth and community. Plenty of dope conversations take place week to week as they inspire each other to be better through conversations. Another Week in the Books, wherever you get your podcast.
On watch. We are in the second round of the playoffs, FIFO. We got a game coming up tonight. That's probably the game. To me, is the game of the night. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody really give a fuck about this Midwest battle between the Pacers and the Cavs. This is literally the mid of the second round of the playoffs. Even though Donnie Mitch is about to drop a half a century on them. Minnesota versus Golden State. Who do you think I'm about to call out now, FIFO?
I know exactly who
it ain't who you think. Because we respect black men here. I'm calling out Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr to me is on watch. If you go back, since we going back in the time machine about California teams, since 2019, the year that KD left Golden State, they have won a title, missed the playoff 3 times, and made the playoffs, I think, twice. This is their second time, I think, making the playoffs. In that stretch of time recently. People tend to forget, but I think LeBron has had a better tenure with the Lakers than Curry had over the last, since he's joined the Lakers, than Curry has had with the Warriors since 29, since KD left. Because LeBron won a title, he's been to Western Conference Finals, and he's made the playoffs, I think, as much or more times than the Warriors in that time span. Either way, I'm bringing all that up to say that Steve Kerr right now, people are saying like they're looking like they could be favored in this series. Draymond already came out, said they have championship aspiration. They're going to win a championship this year. I want to see how Steve Kerr coaches in this series, because you could say he was favored in the last one because of the Rockets against Ime and the Young Boys. That's fine, even though it went to 7 when it shouldn't, because Shelton was ready to shoot them bail if they would have lost game 7. And I was going to be like, hell nah, we can't do that because they was up 3-1. Fuck all what you're talking about. But they won the game on the road, as the experienced team. But this is the series that we all want to see. I need to see how he does against, I don't even know who's the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves FIFO. What's his name? Is it Flip something?
No, it ain't Flip Saunders no more.
I can't tell you. That's the last year. My bad. All Peter Flip Saunders, you know what I'm saying, his whole family. But either way, I need to see how Steve Kerr coaches in this, because if they lose this series, we're gonna have to talk about that his whole regime since KD left.
So Nick, I will add this as a storyline / narrative in this particular series. Back when Ant Edwards went number 1 overall to the Minnesota Timberwolves, he worked out for the Golden State Warriors, and Steve Kerr told him that if they had the number 1 pick, they wouldn't draft him because of his workout. And Ant Edwards internalized that and said, "Damn, I definitely gotta." Edwards acknowledged that he wasn't at a pro level with his workout, but he said that always stuck with him. So we know how vindictive Edwards can be, so we are definitely going to get the best version of him, because he's going to want to stick it to the Warriors and Steve Kerr for saying that about him. So I definitely agree with you. This is going to be the best matchup so far, but we'll see. We'll see who wins.
I want no excuses. That's my thing. No excuses. Y'all be
Both
like,
ways.
hey, we keep it a bean on here, kid. We adopt the same energy of dead in hip hop. No politics, no BS. I don't want to hear no excuses, bro. I'm calling out everybody from Draymond to Curry to Jimmy. Yeah, I know I fuck with Jimmy too.
Will you make excuses for the Cleveland Cavaliers if they fail to win their series? Let's talk about the Pacers and Cavs series, and also the Nuggets series as well.
It's finna go down 2-0.
They about to go down 2-0.
Chill out,
my
bro.
goodness.
Hold on, bro. Y'all TV might be faster than mine. Right now, they still up. Don't say
Yeah,
shit.
they were still up last time I checked. It was closer, but it was like a 5-point lead. But anyway, the Indiana Pacers and Cleveland Cavaliers started off the second round of the playoffs on Sunday evening with the Pacers winning/stealing game one on the road, 121-112. The Denver Nuggets, after taking care of business in game 7 at home, will be going on the road to try and steal game 1 or 2 in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. Which teams do y'all think will prevail in their series, and in how many games?
It's looking like the Pacers going to sweep.
I'm gonna let y'all TVs catch up. I'm gonna let y'all TVs catch up.
Shut up. Wow. I hate y'all. I'll do this all the time.
Oh,
wow. You got dial-up streaming service. That ain't
wow.
I'm watching on my phone, nigga.
Me too, but your shit's slow.
You got cricket.
Oh man,
I got Hulu Live TV, nigga. That's
you got cricket.
A 50 burger.
For
A
nothing.
50 burger and
A
this
wasted 50 burger.
And then they had this game like
Holy
it wasn't even
I gotta
no point watching it.
Hey, Tyrese Halliburton on the mission. Since they said he was the most after Rudy Gobert, they said he was the most overrated player in the NBA. He's been going in since then.
What his daddy said? He's someone saying, "Yay!"
Hey, probably Giannis.
My thing is, my thing is like, why when you're down by when you know that a 3 will kill you, why are you not making? Why are you not making? Not even just foul him. Why are you not making him have to drive and like take away, like bombard him, like make him have to drive, like? And I hate his shot. I hate everything about Tyrese Halliburton. He wanted the ball. I hate.
Yeah, me and my brother was talking about it. He's such an awkward baller, bro. Like he's my brother. My brother said this, and I probably shouldn't say it, but he said he plays like he's disabled. like it's just so awkward, you know what I'm saying? And he's so light skinned with it as well, bro.
And he dropped his nuts on the.
He did. He literally did.
That's crazy. But Monty was saying that about his game too, as well. FIFO. It's like the reason it frustrates you so much because it's so unorthodox and it looked like it's not supposed to go in. And when it keep going in, you're like, bro, come the fuck home.
Yeah,
he the type of dude that if he went to the playground, bro, he got in fights every day.
Yeah,
like bro, I'm punching you, bro. Like, and then you know he talking hella shit too with it, bro.
Yeah.
So what was you about to say, Ken?
Jeez, damn, Cleveland.
He asked you a question, Nick. That's what Ken.
What'd he say?
What'd you ask him, Ken?
Yeah, who's winning these series?
Oh,
and how many games?
I thought you asked.
Injuries are a part of sports. Donovan Mitchell lost. Listen, Donovan Mitchell lost. Half his starting 5 was.
Here come the bell. Did you hear it?
we just want to know who's gonna win the series.
Now
who's gonna win the series is what Ken.
Now Golden State don't get no bell.
Lou, we are.
Hey, he ain't asked you for the injury report, bro. He ain't asked you for that.
Lou, we are in a recession. I had to take up a second job at your bail bondsman law firm. And I'm doing overtime on Tuesday night. That was an ugly loss. I can't even fathom. They should have won that game, and the fact that they didn't, I think the series is over, bro. I'm sorry.
I got the Pacers.
Donovan Mitchell committed an offensive foul while they were up 119-114. So with like 40-some seconds left in the game, and Matt Strus had a turnover. So Donovan definitely contributed to that.
I think having injuries and him putting it on his shoulder, even Bomani talked about that too, as far as like Donovan Mitchell, him getting his doesn't help the team, and clearly that didn't help the team tonight. And the way the Pacers always get somebody injured too. That's why I can't stand they goofy asses too. Yeah, I think this is a wrap. I'm not saying they get swept, but I think it's a wrap. You can't go down 0-2 at home and then you think you're gonna win 4 straight? Yeah, I can't see
4
it.
out of 5.
They're gonna
They'll
push it
win
to
the
7
next 2,
games.
probably.
They'll push
Yeah,
it to
they'll win
7
the next
games.
2.
They have to get their full squad though. Like if you think this is just gonna be Donovan, this is Utah days. Then if you think Donovan Mitchell's just like by himself, like if Garland and Mobley, the defensive player of the year, are out, Slim Duncan, if he's out,
And your boy from the Hawks that they got traded to them.
oh,
out
Hunter,
too, right?
yeah, he was
Yeah,
like,
Hunter out.
it was just.
I don't want to talk about who out, man. Look, we
But
just
they
said
should have
we
had
making
that.
no excuses.
They should have had that game. That's what I'm saying. You dropped 50
Right.
with and you were up with 12 seconds left. You should win that game.
Absolutely. I don't care how many he scored. He didn't score one more point.
But that's the reason why they're going to lose the series. Because number one, like you said, Nick, injuries are part of the game. They're hurt. It's not a full squad. D. Mitch had a hell of a game. You're up 12, or you're up with 12 seconds to go. You still lose that game. How much better? How much better can it be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
At home.
At home, you know what I'm saying? You lost both of the games at home. If you split, it is what it is. But to lose both at home going back in Indiana, even if Indiana splits, you're still down 3-1.
You're still down 3-1.
Yeah, and your
That's
best
tough.
player gave you
That's why I
50.
see.
Like he can't do much more. Like I understand Bomani's point and what you said, Nick, as to he doesn't make the team better when he scores all these points. Barkley even said it at halftime. Still though, like if I'm giving you 50 and we can't pull out a win, like something like that. If I'm Donovan Mitchell, I'm pissed off about that.
Because it's the reason why people thought he was going to leave Cleveland. They were surprised that he resigned. Because it's like, yeah, they had a great season and all that. And yeah, injuries are a part of the game. But like, you just take off 2 players and he ain't got nobody to go to. There's nobody there that they got random. They got they look like the motherfuckers from BTS. The rest of his team. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
who cares about Max Strus? Who cares about a white man named Jerome? Like these niggas ain't doing shit. Like,
Well, the
my-
Cavs do because Strus just committed a turnover after Donovan Mitchell did. Guys, they were up by 20
Yeah.
at home.
At
Stop
some
it.
point, they wasn't
Stop
up
it.
by 20 in the
Yeah,
fourth.
but we-
Yeah,
Stop
But we
it.
know
They-
20 ain't
36
nothing,
to
though.
20, 36 to
20
21 run though, FIFO.
But we know 20's nothing.
In
Look
the
at what the
fourth
Knicks
quarter.
did. Look at what the Knicks did last night. They was on a 31-11 run to close out.
Which I understand, scoring 9 points is crazy. A lot of that is coaching. That's a coaching loss as well. We could argue that that's rust. But in this game, we looked at the Cavs losing game 1 as probably rust, and of course, having an injury. This one, they came back.
It's
They
not
were
rust.
ready. They were in rhythm. They had a 20-point lead. There is no excuse for the Cavs to commit as the best team in the league,
Yes.
based on the record, to lose that game at home after being up 20, and more importantly, to commit those turnovers up by 5 with under 50 seconds to go in the game, when one of them is being your best player. Guys, if this was anybody else, we would be killing them.
Mm-hmm.
If this was LeBron, we would be destroying LeBron. We destroy LeBron for doing something idiotic like this. The hero ball shot in the turnover. You know, Donovan Mitchell committed an offensive foul.
You was ready to say this shit right before the game happened.
Nah, man.
Yes, he was. He talking about he was.
Look, I did the same thing to Joker. Joker had a 61-point triple-double.
But they got
and
a
I
better
called him out
team.
for missing a free throw because he didn't get it done.
I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell didn't fucked up. I'm not saying the Cavs didn't fucked up because clearly going down 0-2 when you were the best record you're the number 1 seed in the whole playoffs, and you now that home court advantage don't mean shit double times. But at the same time, bro, let's not act like the team the Nuggets got versus the team the Cavs got is anything comparable if you take their best player off that. Like,
Who's the best player?
I'm saying if you take Joker off the Nuggets still prove that they can win a game. They did it. They just proved it last night when he wasn't on the floor during a crucial point in the time of the game. If you like Donovan Mitchell, you take Donovan Mitchell off this game or off this team during those last moments. I don't know how that plays out, but
Well, they probably should have took him off the goddamn
still
court.
lost.
Yeah.
Because
They
he
lost.
the one that committed the offensive
They
foul.
They lost. They lost. But I'm not gonna shit on him for losing, but they lost and it was.
Why
his
are you
fault.
not, Nick?
No, you have to shit
Because-
on him for losing.
because
bro.
he
He's
can't-
star.
So you can't shit on nobody then.
No. I'm saying I can't shit on him and shit on him. I can be critical of him, but I can't shit on him. Most of his team was on the bench, hurt. Like
Nick, they had a 20-point lead, bro.
it was not in the fourth quarter. It was
If-
during the game.
If
And
it was
like
Steph,
FIFO said,
if
and
it was Steph, he'd be killing him right now.
Fact.
Nah, I wouldn't kill Steph.
The scoring in the fourth quarter was 36-21, and they lost by 1 point. That means they had a sizable double-digit lead coming into the fourth quarter, right?
If Sheldon, if Steph didn't have Clay, Draymond, who else did they have? And whoever they center is,
you shoot
then
that.
then I would say like,
hold on, man. Nick, bro, tonight you're getting the best of me tonight, Nick. I promise. Name three of the players on the Pacers first before I get to my next point.
Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton, Obi Toppin, and the McConnell, the white boy McConnell, who always get on my goddamn nerves. I want to punch him in the face. I know these niggas. The Pacers have a deeper team. Tyrese Halliburton can come in and out the lineup all he wants to, and the Pacers have been able to hold it down. That's what I'm trying to say. Like this is what I'm trying to say. I know everybody in the chat probably saying Nick double talking all this shit, but I'm just giving context like FIFA always try to say. When I give context, y'all call me an apologist. Going into this whole thing, no one believed in the Cavs. Am I right?
No, they were number one seed. Stop it.
No one believed in this.
Listen, no one believed in the Cavs going.
I didn't have them going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Exactly.
So, I'm answering your question. No.
Exactly. So you add injuries on top of that. What is this team supposed to do?
Win
20-point games,
21 points
at home.
I'm not excusing the loss. But it's also a reason to understand, like, if you went into this game without even watching and say, oh, yeah, Garland and Mobley and Hunter are out.
None of that matters when you had that big of a lead, Nick.
Listen. I'm just bringing up a question. Just answer me this, Doc, before you say shit. If I told you going into this game, Donovan Mitchell's the only one starting, Garland, Hunter, and Mobley are going to be out, and they lose, would you be surprised by that?
Yes, if you told me they were up.
No, I didn't say no. I'm just saying that that's it. That's the only thing. Like, are you surprised by that? Forget how the game went. If you just said they lost,
I'm surprised.
I'm not moving. Because listen, you're saying because first you're saying that I have to look at it as if this was like a random game and it just happened. Yes. All right, cool. I could probably give it more of a possibility of it happening then, but not when you already have a 20-point lead. And
a 14-point lead coming into the fourth quarter, bro.
But again, the audience doesn't understand in the chat because as the game was going on, it was early in the first quarter, so I called it early. Ken was like, Donovan Mitchell should win this game, and I said, don't do that because we don't like because it makes no sense to have that standard for him because we wouldn't have that same standard for anybody else who lost.
You said he's the best shooting guard in the league. That ain't standard.
No, if you're losing three of your starters in the playoffs,
but you said he was the best shooting guard in the league. We've seen best shooting guards in the league win games before.
Answer this question.
Devin Booker would shoot the same. Yes. If you're losing three, listen. If you're losing three of because I'm all about keeping it a being, Ken. Even when I don't like a player, I still will give context if need be. If I told you going into this game, you're losing three of your starters, I'm not expecting you to win that game. However, the way they lost this game, you can't. I'm not excusing Donovan Mitchell for his part in that. He helped lose them the game. He helped lose them the game. But I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna shit on him. I will say that he helped lose them the game, but I'm not gonna shit on him like this is like all his fault because he's the only reason why they were in close in the game.
7 points.
Well, this goes to question.
Seconds.
This goes
7
to
points. 47 seconds.
Yeah.
7 points. 47 seconds.
Okay.
Lakers lost a very similar game against Minnesota too, if I remember correctly.
And we had a lot to say about multiple people, not just one. And two, if we want to talk about that, then what y'all got to say about OKC? Sheldon,
we have not gotten to OKC.
Exactly. I'm trying to move us off. What you got to say about OKC, Sheldon? You blame this on fucking SGA? Is it his fault? We should shit on him?
Yeah, if he's the leader of the team, yes.
So you're saying they lost because of SGA?
At home, yeah. You take the brunt.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I need you to
take the brunt of the blame if you're the leader of a team and you lose like that. If you lose a game like that.
Ken Lou, is SGA to blame for this loss against the Nuggets?
I think the Nuggets have the best player in the world. That's why they won.
I didn't ask
You
that
can't
question.
lose that game at home when you're
No.
up the way they were up. It
Exactly.
should not have come down
It's
to
the same.
because we know Chet ain't fucking shit.
It's not.
And I'll be glad when y'all finally admit that fucking shit. But I'll be
who's
patient. Y'all go ahead.
Who's the joker on the Pacers team?
Halliburton.
Okay, right, exactly. You had to laugh when you said
nobody.
That. Like when you playing, like,
but we're just talking about the best player.
The Thunder,
like
the Thunder are
said,
very talented. The Thunder are a very talented team, and SGA is really good. But still, what Joker is able to do as far as his influence on the game, they can't be matched in the NBA.
He wasn't in the game.
If you tell me that team loses, he played. He had look at his stat line.
But
if you tell me loses to the Joker on the
22,
yeah, it's okay. I get that. I don't get what you just was trying to defend with Donovan Mitchell.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing because they were Sheldon. Were they not up by 20 at one point? In that game with the OKC, they was up by 20. They were up by double digits going like the last foot.
So Halliburton is bringing you back versus Joker.
Hey Nick, what I will say though is that SGA did more in the closing stretch.
Yes.
Than Donovan
did he score 50?
Mitchell did.
Did he score 50 in that game?
He scored.
Did he score 50 in that game?
He scored. He scored with 11 seconds left in the game to put them up by 3 points.
We ain't doing this because if y'all, this is why I say I keep it a bean. Because if you want to say Shelton, we gonna shit on everybody who's the best player on their team and they lose in the last minute or the last few seconds when they should have won that game when they were up by 20 and they had a lead in the fourth quarter. And they did some goofy shit at the end to lose the game, then yes, I'm gonna say then I'm with y'all. If we gonna shit on Donovan Mitchell, let's shit on SGA.
No, here's the
what goofy shit did SGA do?
Len Chet get the ball.
The biggest difference is that was game 1. This was game 2. This is a must win for Cleveland. You can't go down 0-2 at home with home court advantage. I promise you, I'll stand on it if I'm wrong. SGA and he's not gonna let them lose game 2.
You want to put another bottle on that?
The body you owe me. You want to double down on it? The body you owe me. Oklahoma City is going to win game 2.
All right. Well, all right.
Is that a bet? Is that a bet, or are you just saying, all right?
We could bet it. I bet another bottle.
The Oklahoma City is going to win game 2.
Top shelf.
Travel heavy when you come down here to Atlanta.
No, what you mean?
Travel heavy.
Whatever body you tell me, I'm just gonna talk to FIFO real quick. No,
I don't want the FIFO bottle.
You ain't gonna worry about it.
You ain't getting me El Toro.
You gonna get your bottle however you get it. You know what I'm saying? Top shelf. All I'm saying is Louis, this is probably the best basketball point you ever made on this show. It's the fact that this was game 2 and not game 1. I'll give you that. However, if we gonna shit on people, the star player for letting that team lose when you were up, then we gotta shit on everybody.
I think you were just talking about contest. I think the contest is slightly different in this one.
But it's not astronomical.
I think it's close.
Because they lost home court advantage too.
I mean, you're talking about them both taking L. What you're trying to do is make a one-to-one comparison, and that can be made. But I think when you add context, it's different because SGA did not commit an offensive foul in that game. As a matter of fact, SGA made buckets for his team down the stretch.
Yeah,
he put them up by 3. With 11 seconds left. The ball was in his hands, and he scored. And he gave them a lead that they should have held.
The issue with this series is what I was talking about going into the playoffs. Now, have some of the things I've been saying have come up wrong? Of course, like the Knicks beat the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? It had to come down to a step back 3 by Brun. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of things I have been saying have come to fruition. And this is one of those things. I love OKC, and Nick, you were trying to grill me toward the end of the season. You know what I'm saying about where OKC should wind up at the end of the season. I said, yeah, they could make the finals, but I believe with the others, they're not ready to take that championship step. And we saw Denver; they still have a championship core. You know what I'm saying? And I feel this is that matchup that I was saying that OKC is going to have to get their ass whooped again before they can make a legit championship. They have the pieces.
Get their ass whooped?
I don't think they're going to win the series. I think this is that veteran
think
team
they'll
that
win
takes
the
him out.
game?
How many games, FIFO? Because that is the question we're supposed to be answering.
Yeah,
We
6
had
or
to
7.
We had to react to what just happened in real time.
Yeah,
so
no,
go ahead.
100%. But six or seven. This is going to be a grueling out game. Like OKC is uber talented, but it's going to be down the stretch. It's going to be those plays that don't even get measured in the stat book.
I think it's
Denver's
hard
been there, done that.
to do the. It's harder to do the Cavs Pacers series now, given the fact of everything that we just seen. So I don't know what you guys want to put on that game now, considering the fact.
I say Pacers. I mean, Pacers in 6. I'm giving Donnie 2 games.
I say Pacers.
This should have been one of them, but yeah, I'm saying Pacers in 6.
Pacers
Yo,
in
can
7.
y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm over here in the gym right now. I had to sub in real quick because one of the starters clearly is injured. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like Nick, man, take 5 real quick, bro, because you activated my hedge alert. You know what I'm saying? You activated my bail alarm. So I wanted to sub in real quick and just let you know that, like, we ain't going for none of that shit, bro. We not letting you do none of that over here, bro.
I ain't say nothing, bro. I ain't say nothing.
No, you said a whole lot. You said a whole lot. So here's what we gonna do. Do it straight like Pac. I just want to say, we not hedging. We not bailing out. And when it comes to the Cavs, ain't no excuse. If you're a star / superstar, and you got a 20-point lead, I don't care who's missing. At a certain point, you're just supposed to close, bro. You're supposed to find a way, because clearly those guys were good enough to get you the 20-point lead. And if you got role players that are good enough to get you there in a playoff game, then you got to put your Batman cape on, like we always talk about with these cliches, and you got to deliver, dog. So, nah, bro, we not going for that, bro. Nick, take 5, bro. That's crazy.
I'm again. Y'all acting like I said Donnie Mitchell should get no blame at all. I said he helped them lose the game. No, I said he helped these lose the game. I'm not going to shit on him. I'm not going to say this is a referendum of Donovan Mitchell.
2 seconds after saying he gonna shit on Golden State if they lose. 2 seconds later.
No, I didn't say Golden State. I said Steve Kerr, and I said, but I'm willing to call out everybody in that rant as well. But I said Steve Kerr was on watch. I didn't say Golden State was on watch. I didn't say Steph Curry was on watch. I didn't even say Jimmy Butler was on watch. I said Steve Kerr. I want to see how he's gonna coach in this next round, because that's the one motherfucker that started my hatred for. Well, not hatred. I shouldn't say that. He started my.
That's the right word. That's the right word.
He started my distinct criticism of Golden State, because I don't really think he a good coach. There's another coach we're gonna call out too that I don't think he really a good coach. I think he had a choice between Shelton choosing between the Knicks and Golden State right when Mark Jackson got fired. He made the best choice in NBA history. That's all I think.
So, okay, when I said 6 or 7, I was talking about OKC, Denver. In terms of Cleveland, Indiana, I think it's 6-game series at max. Indiana at this point.
I got Denver in 5. I got Denver in
5.
You have Denver in 6 or 7, or you have OKC in
Denver in 6 or 7.
You got to pick a number, nigga. Quit saying that this or that, this or that. Somebody's calculating this shit. That's what I'm saying.
Denver's winning.
In what?
And the thing is, real
Give me
quick,
7.
see, FIFO, I want to rehash 2 quick takes that we had early in the year. I'm on the elliptical right now, so my thoughts is firing right now. I'm going to get out y'all way. But, bruh, 2 takes. Jalen Brunson is a top 10 player. We'll get to that. Just remember that. And number 2, the youth of OKC is still too soon. I don't care what nobody says, bro. They got a bunch of babies on that team. Y'all let Memphis gas it like that because they ain't got no real adults in the room. But, dog, you see what Denver's able to do? They can pick you apart in multiple ways. And Jokic, yeah, he had a gaudy stat sheet, but those were tough buckets, dog. You can't do that every night on defense. Trust me, I know. I was mainly a defensive player. So if your coach is asking you in a 7-game series, yo, make it hard on him every single game. Pause. That's not going to happen 1 or 2 games. And that was a game where he just got off so crazy because they were so afraid of trying to give too many open threes to Jamal Murray. But this is the problem. We got to talk about the youth for OKC. That is a huge factor.
Q
They
punk.
they got a commercial.
I can't call Q a punk ass nigga because he did give Don Brum his flowers, so I'm gonna give you that. And I don't give a damn if you breathing hard on elliptical. That don't mean shit to me, nigga. Because that take about Ken. FIFO been talking for about 20 years about Sam Presti and his ability to draft talented young players, coach them up. He did it with OKC, and now he's doing a run again. It's supposed to be 2.0. When are we going? You were just yelling at me about accountability. We in the playoffs. We don't want to hear none of that shit, right? We in the playoffs, Ken. I don't want to hear none of that shit. You the number one seed. You supposed to have the MVP, FIFO. What are we talking about?
He's not my MVP.
Well, either way,
but we've seen this throughout history. Like what Q saying adds up. We've seen Mike go through this. We've seen
then why would they talk about? Why would they talk about this like that? Then Lou?
No. You talking about them like that. I was trying to bring you down back. Look. You know what? Nick,
you think I'm gonna talk about OKC?
Nick, your issue is that you worry about the third party too much. We don't care about the third party.
Hey, Nick,
I want to know about the first party. What it is that you feel about it? Because that's how you hedge. Hold on, Shelton. This is how you hedge. You want to be the leader of the third party narrative instead of the leader of the Nick narrative. So I want to know the Nick
makes
narrative.
no sense.
That 100% makes sense.
You talk about you missed the hedge just last week. You talk about you root for T-Wolves when you picked the Lakers. What you talking about? Fuck out of here.
Hey.
The second of all, I'm the number one nigga. Always talk about OKC. I'm the one that said the one thing I was wrong. They're not gonna trade SGA again. They're gonna trade Chet. After that goofy shit that he did last night, they gonna try to get Giannis. If I'm OKC, if Sam Presti want to show that he's the GM of the year, executive year, you trade all them youthful talent for Giannis because they ain't. If y'all keep on, y'all kept on telling me that OKC number one seed, they got all this shit. They got their ass beat last year. Now they coming back better this year, stronger this year. I kept on asking, what's your expectations for OKC this season? And you
at sports, that was not the narrative. You're taking the mainstream narrative and asking us. I'm hearing Shelton directly have said that OKC is not ready this year. We said that.
I've heard what I heard on the outside, which is why I bring these things to you. I told y'all, listen, I'm tapped into the streets, FIFO. I bring y'all the information they give me, and I got the paperwork right here. You know what I'm saying? I write it all down. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Nick,
this is the Last of Us. Like outside, those are the infected. Like we talking about above ground. Outside of this compound, bro, we don't care about the narratives. Come on, bro.
Nick, which is worse, losing to Denver or losing to Indiana?
That was
losing the way they both lost in general is worse. It don't matter what team you play in, Shelton. The way they both lost with Cleveland tonight and OKC last night is there's no better loss in that. I don't care who you.
I believe in, but don't you believe in OKC more than you believe in Cleveland? I don't think OKC gonna go lose a game two like Cleveland just did. If SGA has 50 tomorrow, Oklahoma City is going to win.
No, they're not.
That's going to happen.
I have had the Cavs and OKC on a similar path where the expectation for them should be the conference finals. But from how when I talk to basketball minds, people that like y'all and all that stuff, everybody kind of like, not really. Now that's why I'm like. That's why I'm wondering where is this hype coming from? Where are these expectations coming from? When they told me SGA was the MVP, or at least is arguably MVP, I'm like, okay, so that must. So I asked them, I was like, so that means he gonna take this team far because he's the best player in the league on the best team in the league, and they said no. So then I'm like, then what the fuck is we doing? This is why I said the West is team, this is why when Ken called me out earlier in this episode, he said Nick is the one that says the West is cheeks. This is why, Ken. Because niggas telling me the number one and number two seed in the West ain't shit. So then why am I supposed to respect the rest of the
right now it's looking the same way in the East.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know about that.
Why? The Celtics and the Cavs both lost.
We gotta see game 2 of Boston before we say that.
People gotta understand that, bro. Is the regular season and the postseason are two different things, bro. And of course that's cliche, but it has to be stated over and over again, especially in this age where I feel like we've had the most parity in the NBA ever. You just talked about Oklahoma and Cleveland, and we got Indiana. Like, who wants to quote unquote see that, right? But at the end of the day, what that's exemplifying the teams that are up 2-0 and 1-0 right now is they have a different gear and they have a different mode of attack on offense. They have wrinkles to what's going on, or they just have straight up creators like Jalen Brunson. And experience is going to always matter. Youth is always going to be a factor. And if I'm being real, Cleveland has less excuses than OKC because Shai Gilgeous just got the reins from the team from CP3 in 2021. We forget that in the bubble, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the 2 guard. You know what I'm saying? So we have to remember that this is probably, the second season where OKC has had, like, real title contention. It's too early, bro. Like, I really believe you have to lose 2 or 3 times before it really becomes real. Because, in my opinion, it's got to be Jaylen Brown or Giannis that comes to that team, bro.
But the Cavs are young, too.
Donovan Mitchell's been in this position before.
No, he's
done this with Utah. Yes, he has.
He hasn't been the number 1 seed.
It's not about being the number 1 seed.
He's been the number 1 option.
Playoff experience is being the number 1 option. It's about having who's the guy with the light skinned dude with the fro, the big man?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen. You know what I'm saying? DeAndre Hunter's been in the league now. They have multiple guys that are veterans. These guys that's playing for OKC, their average age is younger than most college teams.
But that's saying crazy. But the OKC is the youngest team, but Cleveland is still a young team. They're not an old veteran team. They're not like the Knicks or like the Celtics or
but they're veterans though. But they're veterans though. They're young veterans. Come on, Nick.
I'll give you that. What I won't give you is cute, goofy ass. He can't work out and talk on this thing because it's talking about. Did he bring up Chris Paul in 2021? Are you kidding me? What are you saying?
It's 2025. He just got the reins. But the reason why I'm saying is he got drafted to the Clippers, right? And he was not the guy. It was clearly Lou Will, Pat Beverly, and then they got Kawhi and PG, and they shipped them to OKC. Chris Paul went there, and it has only been 2 seasons with him being the head sheriff in town. That's what I'm saying. Versus Donovan Mitchell, who's been the number 1 option, who's been an all-star, who's been dunk contest guy, who's gotten the signature shoe deal. Shai just got his signature shoe this year. So clearly, he hasn't been 5-6 years deep doing this. That's why I have a problem with people putting it on OKC right now. It has to be Cleveland because Cleveland has multiple guys on second contracts. They have multiple guys on second and third teams from trades, and Mitchell is the guy. So you have a 20-point lead. It's inexcusable.
You're right. There's no excuse in that, but there's context with it. I can understand them losing.
No. The only context is that you're a D Mitch guy and you're gonna shoot that man Bell.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Y'all shooting.
That's the context everybody need to know.
Y'all shooting that.
I disagree with Q. I disagree with FIFO. They've been the best team all year long. This is an extremely tough matchup for them. But this is how you earn your stripes.
Exactly.
And you gotta it's not gonna be easy. Same way with and I know we're talking about it later, but same thing with Anthony and Edwards, bro. You gotta go through these guys to take the mantle. And it is what it is. So I got OKC winning and I think they could probably win it in 6, honestly.
Yeah, I got Denver in 5.
I got Denver.
I got OKC in
7.
Okay. That's disrespectful.
You just say you're young people. Make the case how they go win.
Denver in 7.
Wait, Nick, you have Denver in 5?
I got Denver in 5.
That's just our frustration from Donovan Mitchell.
No, it's not. I said this in the chat. I was like, the biggest weakness OKC got is the best thing that Denver has going for them. They have a legit big man in the league who is literally the best player in the league.
Yeah, Joker's going to be an issue.
You got Hartenstein, Nick.
He ain't on the Knicks no more, Sheldon. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. All I know is that I see a scarecrow.
Chet.
I see Chet goofy ass in there. And this is the reason why coaches get fired so much, Ken, because they got the Hamburglar coaching the Nuggets. he only about 6-7 games more in coaches than me and you, and he doing all this shit. This is why no one respects head coaches now. You can
just watching the game. He just watching the game,
and he ended up beating Ty Lue.
You're right.
Crazy.
He ended up being
Crazy,
Ty
bro.
Lue, which is why if the Clippers want to blow up the team and fire Ty Lue, they would have all the reasons to do that. They got all the evidence to do that.
All right. Well, that segment went a little longer than expected because of the whole thing that happened with the Pacers and the Cavs. But we'll be back with the next segment right after this quick break.
If you are a fan of gaming, then you need to check out Dead End Gaming. Dead End Gaming brings you honest reviews, hilarious moments, and deep dives into the conversations take place in the industry. No sugarcoating, just real gamers gaming. Check out Dead End Gaming, the world's most dangerous gaming crew, on Twitch or YouTube. Just look for Dead End Gaming ATL. That's Dead End Gaming ATL.
Yeah, we need to talk, guys. It took a lot to be silent when you guys were talking earlier. But I knew I had this queued up because we need to talk about Luka. I heard that Luka was the best player on the Lakers. I disagree with that. But if we want to take age into consideration, maybe not. But I remember when LeBron James went out, got hurt, that team was not winning. I think we got to be honest about what Luka is and what Luka is not. Luka is a great, phenomenal player that can put up numbers and stats like nobody's business. Hero shots are great. But we got to be real about him going to the finals. That was Kyrie taking them to the finals. That shit was not Luka. I think we have to be honest. So when he got traded and everybody was sitting here talking about, oh man, they just went to the finals. They just did that. They just did this. They just did that. That shit was fucking Kyrie. And what happened when they went to the finals? The same damn thing that just happened in the first round with the Lakers. Luka got exposed on defense. And they've been talking about Luka's health and conditioning for years now. FIFO even mentioned that it went all the way back to when he should have been at his peak when he was 16. We know this about Luka, and all I hear are people copping excuses for this guy over and over. Shelton just said he is what it is at this point. When have we ever let any other superstar get off with some shit like that? If this was LeBron, he would be getting destroyed. If this was goddamn who else we got? It's Curry, he would be getting destroyed. KD, he would be getting destroyed. James Harden, he would be getting destroyed. Because right now, he just looked like a white James Harden, if you ask me.
Jesus.
That's what he looks like.
Hey.
But I think the Luka finals run was extremely overrated. And I think that when we look at that finals run, who did the most work against Minnesota? It was Kyrie. It was Kyrie that did that. The man just got traded from the Mavs because of his weight. And we looked at it and everybody criticized it because it was a stupid trade that we all admonished. And guess what happened? Both of these teams went home early. We got the same damn thing. The trade looked egregious at the moment. And people having some revisionist history now. But I think Luka is overrated. I think he put up these great numbers, but I don't know if Luka is the winner y'all say he is. And I just don't know if he's the winner he say he is. And he got a lot to prove it because he's in LA now. They're going to give him every fucking thing he needs. And since they lost this series, I've heard Shelton blaming LeBron and the others. I heard JJ Redick got a lot of blame, which he absolutely deserved because I did it too. But I didn't hear very few of y'all say shit about fucking Luka. I ain't hear nobody criticize Luka for what he did. So I'm just saying, man, I think we need to talk. If we really sit back and look at Luka and his career and what he's been able to do, I ain't see him win any of these games.
FIFO, I got a question for you before you go.
Mm-hmm.
Between Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic, who would you say is the better player?
Luka. Jason and Luka?
Yeah.
The better, to me, they're on the same tier. I would take Jason Tatum, more athletic.
Going into the playoffs, would you still say that, or did your things change after this first round?
No. Going into the playoffs, I would say that.
Okay.
He's been the best player on the championship team. The thing about Luka, Ken, a couple of things I want to address that you said. I've been calling out Luka as well, but I also give him his praise because the reason why Luka deserves the praise that he does get is he has the second highest playoff scoring average next to Michael Jordan. Like it's Michael Jordan, then it's Luka. That's number one. Hold on, that's number one.
Listening.
Luka has had those moments that we talk about that great players need to have, right? Like remember that series against the Clippers when we're talking about a prime PG and Kawhi Leonard off of winning a championship, both top 5 two-way guys in the NBA, and Luka put on a show. Luka did have the finals run last year, Ken. Luka has had
series.
No, Ken, but they've had Luka has had a lot of special moments, and that's the reason why he gets the flowers that he gets. But because he has those moments and hasn't been able to follow it up with sustained success, that's the reason why he also gets the flack. And then when we have to break down and dissect what it is that is causing him not being able to get over the hump, the primary thing is he's just out of shape. Because we can't blame the basketball savantness of Luka Doncic. He's one of the best talents in the NBA. What's holding him back, Ken? It's a lack of stamina when he needs to be the most focused, which is late in games.
Who is openly criticizing Luka? Because when Nico Harrison made that trade, they wanted to go out and hang this brother up and cut everything that he had off. They want to take him back to the old days, bro.
I feel like
JJ Redick just
y'all do know.
JJ Redick didn't even say his name.
Fat Luka,
but like you said, we know what it is.
Fat Luka averaged more points, rebounds, assists, and steals than Jason Tatum. So I don't know how Jason Tatum's better other than he wins more.
Well, Jason Tatum.
Don't even answer that, FIFA. Yeah, don't even answer that, FIFA, because Sheldon just said some goofy shit.
He averaged more, and they make him better.
Hey, Sheldon, hold on. What was the closing part to that statement, though?
Yeah, both of y'all goofballs, if you agree with that shit.
Wait, what did you end that sentence with?
I don't see how y'all can say he's better. What is he
other than what?
Other than what?
The wins. But what does that say? What does that say? You're saying it like he won these games.
I don't agree with it.
Thank you, Spike, because that shit sounds.
Because he tried to add that in at the last minute. Like that's
I don't know why you threw that in there. You had to go.
I was
with
saying
you threw that in there. I didn't hear that.
No. So what you're saying is the team that Jason Tatum has around him is the same as Luka's team?
No,
I'm saying that we have criticized Tatum for his failures. We have criticized Tatum for his failures more than Luka has been criticized as a Maverick and now as a Laker.
I was just answering the question as to who's better. But as far as criticism, yeah, he deserves criticism. I agree with you on that. But we can't say that Tatum is better. We can't say that if he's not better in any category.
Shelton, what's asked of Luka is not asked of Jason, and it's not his fault because his team is better.
Because he can't do it.
Danny Ainge, and then now the good son, Ken, what's his name? The good son.
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens have been able to create an environment and generate a roster that allows Jason Tatum to just do what he does best. Scoring the phone booth
That's not a compliment. If Luka was in Boston, they'd be like the 60s Celtics. They'd be winning championships.
I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
I don't know about that.
You don't play defense.
You have to build it different. You have to build it different.
That's the thing that people have praised Jason Tatum over the years,
bro.
That because he came in just offensive minded, but he had to learn how to play. Because when you in Boston, bro, you playing defense. That's a fucking standard. Everybody played defense.
And conditioning, Spike. The two things that are holding Luka back and why he isn't maximizing everything he's doing all of this out of fucking shape.
The only reason that the conditioning comes into play and the defense is because of rosters that have been around him.
No.
The Lakers roster was terrible. The Mavericks roster was damn near terrible, but they had rim protectors. If he played in Boston with that roster, he would be way more successful than Jason Tatum is.
What did Jason Tatum do in the fourth quarter of the game against?
What we talking
I
about?
don't give a damn about that shit, Sheldon, because the same argument I try to use to save Donovan Mitchell, y'all used to try to save Luka. If he was somewhere else, if he was on a better team somewhere else, he would be doing better. That's what y'all saying.
I'm not shooting in bail. I'm just using the comparison of the two players.
We're just talking about the players.
Well, that was Nick shit. Nick brought that into the conversation.
Okay, yeah, he needs to get better. I'm with you on that.
I'd rather have a player that can give me 30 and play defense than a player that can give me 40 and don't do shit on defense. And he fat as fuck.
And then the 40 comes sometimes in losing efforts. Like it looks good when you look at it, but it's just like, all right. And then everybody else get the heat for it. All I'm saying is that I think that Luka's career should be criticized harshly moving forward, more harshly than it ever has been. He's been to the finals. People shit on fucking Devin Booker, and he don't went to the finals. And Devin Booker don't get any credit for that shit. And all we hear about, they just went to the finals last year. Bro, if Kyrie wasn't on that team, they not beating Minnesota.
I mean, if Jaylen Brown went on the Celtics, they wouldn't have a championship. Like, I don't understand the correlation. Like, Luka's a much better basketball player.
I'm saying that the correlation is that the Celtics have been better when Tatum has been on that team as an organization with multiple Eastern Conference Finals than Luka has been on the Mavs.
Because he's never had the around him that Tatum has had.
Yeah, the question around it was always a question as to who's better on the Celtics. Was it him or Jaylen Brown? It just became Tatum was better. Yeah. So we never had a question.
Tatum always.
You can't even compare Jaylen Brown to Luka.
They just lost with fucking LeBron James, bro. LeBron James on the team, and they got all these guys around him.
40 years old, King.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, bro. Let's go on. Let's move on.
My thing is,
y'all just caping for the white boy.
My thing is, it's crazy that as much as Jason Tatum has accomplished, he gets disrespected because you can't even say he better than a fat boy.
Because he's passive. He's not the normal NBA superstar that we used to. He's still maybe not to the extent FIFO that he was.
He's overcome that hurdle.
He still looked as passive, bro. He still looked at as passive. He let Jalen Brunson come in his house and do him like that in game one. He's still a passive dude.
Okay, still ain't Luka. Don't make me go on your side when you start talking about my boy. Let's get to the. We got one more time.
Like, you up 20, you up 20, bro, and you still shooting threes, and you got Jalen Brunson checking you. You still are a
hold all that. Hold all that. Look, when I said the shit about Kawhi, I got crucified. I just want to remind y'all when I would call him the leprechaun champ, and people crucified me. And look at where we are right now. All right, that's all I want to say. It may have been a fantasy finals run. That's all I'm going to say right now. It's TBD. But anyway, what is it to be determined anymore is the series between the Golden State Warriors and Houston Rockets. The Golden State Warriors were able to get the job done and close out their first round series against the young Houston Rockets on the road, 103-89. They are now matched up against the underrated Minnesota Timberwolves, and we face them on the road tonight in Minneapolis. Which team do y'all think will win the series, and in how many games?
Real quick before y'all go, this series may have just shifted. Steph Curry went to the locker room holding his hamstring, so he just checked himself out of this game. And Golden State is up 12.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's scary.
They up, Shelton. No excuses. Right?
That's scary. Hey, no excuses, Nick. No excuses, Nick. But no excuses. But that
you better really.
I'm just saying
that really is bad. Now Ant-Man is.
Well, we're not talking about superstar. We're talking about superstar caliber, bro. Don't do that.
Get your ass.
No. I'm holding you accountable to what you just said. We're talking about superstar. What superstars left on the team with Steph?
We talked about
what superstars left on the team with Steph gone?
Draymond.
Superstar Nick.
Come on,
Superstar Nick.
No, he got commercial.
Draymond got why you quiet as kept? Draymond got 14 in the first half, 14 and 5.
Y'all continue.
Yeah,
but
ain't no
Ant-Man is over 8 in this game.
Stuff, though.
Ant-Man is over 8 in this game. But to answer the question, I still think you can't say if. Give me Golden State still. Golden State in 6.
If Steph don't come
without Steph?
I can't. I want to say if Steph plays, but we can't do that. We got to pick. So I'm picking Golden State.
But that's seismic though. Like we're talking about the guy on
That
the
is
championship
huge.
level.
But they got Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Jimmy's Robin.
But we can't.
We know that.
But we can't. But I can't have it both ways because, to be honest, if he goes down, I think Minnesota gonna win. But at the same time, I got to pick.
Then pick
so
Minnesota.
my pick is I'm not, because I still think Golden State is a better team if Steph can get back. Because it
With
may
the
not be as
information
bad
that
as
you
I see.
have now. You don't know that Steph is coming back, so why wouldn't you pick Minnesota?
Because I still think if Steph comes back, if it's better than if it's not like
So you're hedging.
that's not no hedging is if I did not pick. I just said
he made it.
I
He
know,
made
You're
it.
telling me you think Minnesota will
No,
win, but
I
also
did
you
not.
saying, oh, if
I
he
did
come
not.
back.
I said give me Golden State. I said
Yeah.
Golden State is my pick. I had to pick, so it ain't a hedge.
Regardless of what happens.
Yes, that's what I
your
said.
pick. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, going into it, I definitely had Golden State, but without Steph, I definitely think Minnesota wins the series.
We don't know.
But I'm
what-
gonna stick. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with what I had going into this particular series. I got Golden State in 6.
What you got, Lou?
I got the Wolves in 7.
I got the Wolves in
Regardless
6.
of, but it was before the stuff shit, but I got Wolves in 7.
Regardless of what happens, I got Wolves in 6. Steph can get you 2 games.
Ant better wake up though, because Ant is 0 for 8, and he's been talking a lot of trash.
They had a lot of-
Ant
a
has
lot of
been
rest.
what everybody says Shador is, so Ant better play.
Wait, what?
I said Ant is what everybody's trying to say Shador is. He talking the trash that everybody thinks Shador talk. So Ant better hoop in the second half.
That is a terrible thing
Oh,
to say.
that's a
Shelton.
direct
It
shot.
made no sense.
It's a direct shot. Made all the sense in the world. If you saying
Can I
all
tell
the
you one
trash
thing?
he been talking, all the
No.
trash he talked to the Lakers,
Jesus
walking around
Christ.
talking trash,
But he in the
everything that
league.
Ant does is
He's
what they
beat-
say Shador does. So
Bruh,
he better
he-
win this. He
Shelton,
better win this
Shelton,
game.
I can end the argument right now.
He better win this
Anthony
game.
Edwards was the number 1 overall pick.
He better win the game.
And has beaten
Nick,
beaten some of the
Nick,
best
but he-
players in his profession in
he
the
better win
playoffs.
this game. I don't want to hear none of that. He better win this game. He talked too much trash.
This ain't
Yeah,
nothing
I don't
compared
know,
to
bro. I
what
think
So
he
y'all let
forced
him
that
talk
one.
and get away with
Nah,
it. Can't
man.
nobody else say nothing.
Nobody doing
Nah.
that shit, bro.
Nah, he got to win. So
Nah,
so
bro.
wait. So Ant,
Yes,
Ant ain't gotta win
Did
the
you
series?
write that
I
down?
beat.
Ant ain't got no.
Yeah,
He have to.
that's a
Ant ain't got to win the
crazy-
series.
He
He
had
couldn't
to.
have thought of that.
That's Spike. I
Yeah,
think he
that wasn't-
scripted
hey,
that early,
Ken,
bro.
that went out the
Kenneth-
top of his
Kenneth
head. It couldn't
ends.
have been. He thought about
Kenneth
that
ends.
like
So
all
Ant
week.
don't have to win this
did.
game.
I'm gonna
for
say
you.
this. I'm gonna hit
He
him with
was-
this when we
You,
get
now
here
you
and
on Luka,
do the
but you ain't
live.
on Ant.
He thought it was gonna hit
No,
too.
nigga.
It didn't hit. It hit for me. It hit for me because I meant it.
He was
It
like,
hit
"This
for
gonna be
me.
wedding."
It hit for me because I meant it. Absolutely.
Hey.
And you
Oh
shoot
man,
Luka no
I'm
bell, how
glad you
shoot
got that off,
bell?
Shelton.
If you're not shooting Luka
Yo,
no bell, how you
That's
shoot that bell?
crazy. I'm shooting.
Right?
Ant
So
Bell
man.
because
I haven't
Can't
shot.
answer the question.
Wait, I haven't shot any bell. I'm just
I'm
saying the
asking
shit
you,
you
so
just
you
said
don't-
was
so you
stupid as
don't-
hell. That's
stupid
all
about
I'm
it?
saying.
What's stupid about it? He
That
get a
shit
pass
made
from
no
you?
Cuz,
sense,
how you
bro.
comparing them two, bro?
Comparing
Shador
him
ain't
to
even in the
Shador?
league. He ain't done shit.
My comparison
And
to
Edwards- and
Shador
Edwards
is
would be
Ant
Jokic.
is saying all the stuff that they're saying Shador said. So Ant need to follow it up.
After he
need
beat these people,
he need to
he
catch-
said this to Durant
What did he
after he
beat?
beat him. He said this to LeBron
He-
after he beat
he
him.
won in
He
the
said
first
this to
round. He gotta
Joker
win this
after
round.
he beat him.
No, he got to win this round.
Yo,
That's what I'm saying. He got to win this round.
Sheldon, you better than
Ken,
this.
who you got?
He got to win this round. Nah,
Jesus Christ, bro.
if he don't win this round, then that's it for me. You got to prove it. You talk.
Okay, so
gotta
you
finish
don't,
it up.
wait, just real quick before you go. I
Yeah.
just gotta know. You don't think that he's deserved, like he ain't
No.
done the work to talk shit?
He ain't done nothing to talk. What has he done? To talk as much as he's talked. What has he done?
They're calling him the King Slayer. I beat LeBron in the playoffs. I beat Joke in the playoffs. I may possibly beat Steph in the playoffs. Like the road
And-
that he's going.
And what has
to
he gotten him?
get to-
Has he won a championship yet?
Bro, he ain't even 30 years old yet.
So don't talk yet. What are you saying? You can't be the one talking the most if you ain't done nothing.
But Shador,
So you-
did all
so
the
he can
talking
talk.
and ain't done
Talk
shit.
about
Shador-
what he won,
Shador
too, man.
can't
It's
talk
like
either.
Part of the bravado. It's
But
part
you
of the
just-
bravado.
Shador
shit.
can't
Come
talk
on.
either.
So now
You just-
Shador can't talk.
But you,
No,
but you,
he shouldn't
but
be.
you said, Sheldon, you like that he talks. Like you don't mind his confidence, and now you're saying he shouldn't talk.
Not
Because
as
he
much
hasn't
as
won
he
a-
is. No, once again, you got to have confidence, but you
I
can't
don't
come
know
out
what
and
you're
talk like
talking
you
about.
talking.
Ken, what's your pick?
Yeah,
Ken, what's
Sheldon, you sound
because I don't
crazy
even
right
know
now.
why we got it
I want
caught
to let
up
you
in
know,
that.
Sheldon, you
And
sound
Sheldon
crazy
don't know
right
what the
now.
hell he talking about right now.
I know exactly what I'm
He,
talking about.
he said some shit, Nick, and he realized it was crazy.
Hey, look,
He
ain't
tried to walk
nothing.
his way around it,
I ain't
but he
walking my
keep
way around
digging
nothing. This is a direct shot. It's a direct shot.
Oh, man.
If you gonna talk the talk,
You
you need to
sound
win the
crazy,
game. That's
though.
what I said. What sound crazy
You
about
may
that?
think it's a direct shot, but you sound crazy. Anthony
Explain
Edwards
it.
has deserved the right to talk crazy.
So Anthony
Way
talk
more,
crazy.
and even putting it in the same sentence
in
as
the
Shador
second
is
round.
insane.
He's still
In the
mad about
second
Shador didn't
round,
get drafted
I'm
in
mad.
the
I'm mad
second
about
round.
Shador. I'm still mad
He's
about
so mad at
Shador.
Shador. He took it out on another
I'm
black
still
man.
mad about Shador.
That's
Absolutely.
way more accomplished.
Absolutely.
A black man that made the team. We don't even know if Shador gonna even make the fucking team yet.
We don't.
But
we don't.
never mind. That's neither here nor there. Nick, I got let me get the Warriors in 6.
Right now,
No, you got to pick. You pick taking up an ant. How you gonna pick the Warriors?
Well,
Make it
the
make
question
sense.
was when was
Make it make
no,
sense.
I was talking about what you said about Shador comparing him to Ant and the talking and how they don't correlate. I wasn't not even defending
It's
Ant.
funny because
How does it not correlate?
you not getting it, Sheldon. Like
I'm not
what you
because
said
it does
is
correlate.
insane.
I said that
It is
Ant
insane.
talks
Literally, what
as
you
much
said
as they
is
say
insane.
Shador does. That's what I said. He talked more than that.
And I
But
thought
it's
you
okay
liked
for
that
him to
too,
do it.
by the way. I thought you loved the shit
I
talking.
do like trash talk. I do.
What
But I'm
don't
saying,
sound like it.
if he can't, why can't anybody else do it?
let's move on to the
Oh,
next
man.
stage.
All right, Nick, I know this is what you want to talk
This is
about.
what I'm trying to
bro,
get to.
Hey, we're
trying
gonna
to get
where
to
we
the
at on
Knicks.
time? We're gonna skip this last commercial break and just jump right into it. Jalen Khan, sir. The New York Knicks closed out the Detroit Pistons last Thursday in dramatic fashion with Jalen Brunson's game-winning series sealing shot on the road in Detroit. They are now matched up against the reigning world champion Boston Celtics. And with game one already done, do you think they have a chance to win the series? Or is Boston just too dominant to make this matchup a competition? In the third quarter, the Boston Celtics took 20 field goal attempts. Of those 20, 19 were three-pointers. The Celtics were wildly uneven in their defeat, launching an NBA playoff record 63 pointers and missing a postseason record 45 of those attempts. Jason Tatum, who finished 7 for 23 overall, and 4 of 15 from beyond the arc, repeatedly settled for outside shots instead of playing aggressively to get to the basket, even as the Knicks were saddled with foul trouble. And then in the front court, I'm also not going to leave Jaylen Brown out of this as well, because he was 0 for 9 from the field in 3, and he finally hit one and was 1 of 10 for the game as well. So who y'all have winning this series and how many games?
Knicks in 6.
Come on, Nick.
So,
Come on, Nick.
So, I'm sorry, bro. This is what I be saying about. This is what I say when it comes to, like, if you are a fan of a team, you should always believe you have a chance.
Yesterday, you didn't think that yesterday, Nick. Before the game, you didn't think they.
No,
were
I
down by
told
20.
bro, y'all don't read my message. I called you out specifically, Sheldon, for not reading what I be putting in the chat.
You're right.
I put in the chat. I was like, the Knicks got to win game 1 because game 2 they getting blown out. That's all I said. I was like, so the best time to steal a game as the road team in a playoff series is game 1. Because everything is you still trying to fill each other out as a team, even though the Knicks play in the same division as the Celtics, and they've played multiple times, and the Celtics have gotten the best of them handedly. That last game felt like when the Giants went against the Patriots in that last regular season on the way to the Super Bowl where they faced the Pats again, and they gave, even though they lost that game, they gave them confidence in this to play them again if they ever did. We here right now. Brun. Q said he top 10. I think he top 8. I can't name 8 players better than Jalen Brunson right now.
I could probably name 10, but go ahead.
Yeah, that'll be for next show.
He right now. You got to give him.
He is.
He's great. He can play.
He's the best player in the playoffs.
He
right
hitting
now.
the biggest shots. The biggest shots.
Hey, look,
he better than Ant.
The other thing Nick, the other thing I said was Brunson was more important to that team that Luka was on when he was there, and then they got rid of him and they started failing, and then they went and got Kyrie.
I agree with you on that too. And the last thing I would say before I let somebody else go, Jalen Brunson's on the greatest sports contract of all time. You can't tell me. I can't.
Yeah,
he's getting paid $25 an hour, Lou, to do all what he's doing for the Knicks.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I can't. You can't tell me that.
I will say this.
He gonna bust their head. He gonna bust their head next contract though.
Maybe he could have done it this time, and he didn't.
He is.
He should.
We'll see. That's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah, true.
I think, like, after watching that Boston game, this was more about Boston than it was New York for me. And that Boston game, they missed 43 3-pointers. And if they just make 10 more, 45, if they make just 5% more 3-pointers, that's a win. You know what I'm saying?
For you drinking this late at night?
No. I will say this, though. My issue with Boston watching that game is that they hunted the three versus playing basketball. There were a lot of opportunities where they're playing like a two-man game with Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum is looking for the three, gives the ball up, and instead of back cutting them and getting an easy bucket because there was no there was no help, he's standing there getting the ball to shoot a three again. So for me, if I'm Joe Mazzulla, I'm letting them know, hey, look, we understand that 3 is better than 2, but an easy 2 is better than 3 all day. And they left too many easy 2s on the table for me. And when I look at that, the Knicks had to go on a crazy run, just like that game 1 against Detroit in New York. Like, for me, that's not a sustainable way of basketball. And for me, it's just minor tweaks on the Celtics end versus what the Knicks got to do. I think the Knicks are playing above their pay grade. But we'll see if they will be able to sustain it.
Y'all be acting like they playing the Washington Generals or some shit, bro.
Man, listen, the problem that we have right now with the Knicks is not that they're not talented. It's not that they're not good defenders. It's just once the game comes down to Tom Thibodeau. Jalen Brunson is being asked, just like D Rose was, just like Jimmy Butler was, to carry the entire load of the offense, and you got to get bailed out with miracle shots from OG, good step backs in the Detroit series from Cat, but you can't rely on that. You can't think that those type of sets and those outcomes are going to just happen willy-nilly. It's like, I don't like the miracle offense, and I don't like riding Brunson that heavily, but if it's working, who am I to actually disparage it too much? I think that the Knicks have a great chance in this series. My heart wants the Knicks in 7. I just feel like you can't go against the back-to-back champs without any, reproducible offense. The Knicks defense is going to be tough. They're going to get runs just off of the fact that it's a Tibbs-led team. But something is just telling me that Mazzulla, Tatum, and Brown are going to come through in 7. I hope I'm wrong. This is more of a head and heart pick. My heart is with New York. I want the Knicks to be good again. I want the Knicks to come back to glory. I think it's good for the NBA when New York has a really good team. Especially, I'm in New York right now. Bro, the fans are going crazy, bro. Like, everybody's outside. Like, I'm in the Heights right now. So it's lit. So people are very excited. But heart, Knicks, my head says the Celtics, and I never bet with my heart. So I'm going to just go with my head here and say that Boston wins narrowly game 7.
So Nick, Q trying to get out of New York alive. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do.
Somebody know where he at. Yeah, somebody know where he at up there.
Q, let me know where you at in New York. I may pull up on you. But all I'm saying is this. I want to say Knicks in 7, but to me, if it goes back to Boston, I just don't trust that. I don't trust that. Even though the Knicks are right now undefeated on the road, I don't trust the game 7 not in Madison Square Garden where they got the home crowd. So they have to win in 6. It's just desperation.
Yeah, for me, it's Boston in 6, man. I think that the Knicks are going to do what they've been doing all year. They struggled against the top teams, even though they're playing much better now. Like you said, I just don't trust OG and those guys to continue to play ball. He played out of his mind in this game. and I don't see it.
OG been balling all playoffs.
But I just don't think he can keep it up at this pace. I just don't think so. And this was a game that Boston lost more so than the Knicks won.
Don't do that. Y'all be hating, bro. I swear.
Nick, I'm just being honest,
Boston,
man.
How you gonna say Boston lost it? And this is where I want to get to and Lou, I know you got your talking points too. Ken, I wanted to call out Joe Mazzulla. Do we know if he's a good coach or not? Because
we don't know because we thought Ty Lue was a good coach.
Because to me, you ain't have to do that. to me, he did the same thing Steve Kerr punk ass doing right now. He inherited a bad bitch, and he think he can go out here and get bad bitches. I don't think so. He got too much confidence in a team that was literally championship ready because they went to the championship the year before he got there. So to me, you're a good coach makes adjustments. Like you said, FIFO.
That's a good point.
Right, like you mentioned, Ken, in the outline, the Knicks were in foul trouble. Cat's always in foul trouble. So so he was irrelevant most for the fourth quarter. And they could have easily, like one of y'all said it, Jason Tatum on Brunson. Why are we not exploiting that? At least to get to the foul line. Bully ball.
You can't.
Joe Mazzulla can't say, bro, we missed 35 threes. We need to stop taking it to the hole.
You know, and I think the other thing is the players on the court can say that. Tatum and Brown have been in these situations before. They both can drive to the hoop and get fouled. They know it's not like they don't have experience. I don't know why they kept doing it. To take 19 threes out of 20 shots is insane. And on top of that, you have a pretty sizable lead and you blow it like that. To score 9 points and let them go on a run like that is inexcusable. Tatum or Brown never should have let that happen at all. You win that game. When the game gets close, we talk about LeBron, and when the game gets close, put your head down and go to the basket. Slow the game down. They didn't do any of that. They kept jacking threes.
I think that's because neither one of them are a number one. Tatum's not a number one. Brown's not a number one. Neither one of them are going to take it amongst themselves to be like, I'm going to dominate this game like Brunson does. Brunson better than Tatum. He better than Brown because he's willing to be the person.
Oh my God,
he's willing to be the person to be like, I'm going to win this game for us. And that's why I like the Knicks.
Bro, y'all need to stop.
I got the Knicks in 7.
I don't want to shit on Brunson but I think people are going insane.
Nah, bro, it's legit. It's legit.
Brunson trying not to.
Brown, he's a beast.
Spike is talking crazy, bro.
Everybody go back. Everybody go back and rewatch our top 10 list. And I swear it was just me and Nick who said Brunson is easily top 10.
I was on that too,
bro. The eye test, the facts, Spike. The eye test is what I go off of sometimes. Then when the numbers back it up, I just don't see how you can't, verify that man. Like he's certified, bro. Yeah. The ability to be that nigga is like 5'10", first off. So he play bigger than Jason Tatum. He gives people more
Brunson
body.
Is better than Tatum.
Facts.
I will.
I'm not talking to you.
Like, you know what? You know, Ken.
Don't say it. Yes. Don't say it, Q.
I'll say yes. I'll say yes. I'll say yes. But for anybody who's afraid to say yes, if you running 5-on-5 at the YMCA, just based off of if you only saw that one game yesterday, and you get to pick at the YMCA, who do you want? That little dude over there or the big, tall, light-skinned dude? Most people going to pick that little short dude because he was giving work. If we going off of, if I was an alien coming to Earth and I saw that one game, I would say he's better than him. And it's not even close, actually, because he wants contact. Because I'm tired of hearing the whole, he's a foul baiter and all that stuff. He's a small guard, bro. I have respect for guards because I understand that they have a short shelf life. And if they don't give people something to think twice about when they jump and big guys, try to, swat the ball away, they have to draw fouls, bro. Every small guard has done it. Unless you were just outrageously athletic like D Rose, Isaiah Thomas did it, Chris Paul does it, Trae Young does it, everyone's done it. So this criticism that we have for Jalen Brunson when he's delivered over and over again as the number one option in New York, everything that just shows me that he's that guy. He's top 10.
It's tough for me, but at the same time, if you're telling me we got one shot to win the game and I got to play defense, I don't want to see Brunson over Tatum. I'd rather see Tatum than see Brunson with one shot.
Why?
Because Brunson gonna hit that shot.
Oh, okay. You saying you
Yeah.
would rather have Brunson? Okay, gotcha.
If I'm playing defense, I'd rather play Tatum on defense. If I'm a defender, I'd rather go against Tatum than Brunson.
Tatum is going to settle for that 18-foot shot as to where Brunson is
got
going to get separation like he did in that Detroit game, and he's going to hit that shot. He's a basketball player. Tatum is really good. I'm not knocking him and saying that he's not good, but Brunson got a different drive in him.
Brunson got a bag.
Tatum do not have what Brunson got.
Hey, this goes back to the conversation y'all just had about Jason Tatum versus Luka, and y'all was saying like why Jason Tatum is better. Jason Tatum just doesn't have like that want to. Like in his game, like it's not like his game doesn't look nice. His game, you can look at his game and be like, all right, yeah, I know he's a hooper, but it's just like he doesn't have that mentality or that feel that when you look at it's the same way some of y'all look at LeBron versus Jordan. It's just like I can tell LeBron is great. It's just he doesn't have that killer man talent that you're looking for, and that's what Jason Tatum just doesn't have. It's a different type of light skin ball. It just doesn't. It's not appealing to him.
Right.
Exactly. And Brunson is bringing back the ghost of Carmelo with how clutch he is in these games. So that's why I'm just like,
you know what, Ken, you know what? Jason Tatum is the John Legend of small forwards. It's like, is the nigga talented? Yeah, for sure. The nigga even got a classic, probably. Do I want to hear that shit? Fuck no. I don't want to hear that shit, bro, because I would rather listen to so many more people. I'd rather watch so many more people play. And I just think that so many more players in the league, I could probably say 6 or 7 guys, to me, they're just better, bro. The thing that, and this is not a shit on Tatum session, we're just talking about the series. The reason why my heart wants the Knicks to win this series, is because when the chips are down, I, for the life of me, cannot recall a high stakes moment where Tatum rattled off 10 by himself, 8 by himself in high leverage moments. In the first quarter, when it's front running time, the nigga gets 3 back threes, and we're like, man, Tatum is killing. But third quarter come, and you got a smaller guy on you, like FIFO saying, he's stepping back, he's pulling back, he's passing, he's trying to get step back jump, and it's like, I need to see the 8-0 run there, bro. I need to see that 6-0 run right there. And I rarely see that, and I could be wrong, but I don't see that often.
Hey, Q, you know who has done that? Luka.
And that's what I'm saying, especially against Rudy Gobert, but we're not gonna go back to that series. But Ken, you tripping on that point, bro. Luka is still that guy.
John Legend got 2 classics, his first 2 albums.
No, he got 1.
He got 2 classics. If you listen,
Get lifted is fine.
Get lifted is
once again, it's bro. When that album came out, bro, that solidified John Legend as a guy.
Nick, a classic. Get lifted is a classic.
Listen to when was the last time y'all listened to Once Again?
I did the other day. 2 Nick.
You ain't saying the other day, nigga. You listened to your son. You probably thought it was your son instead of John.
No, I said I'm with you. I agree with you. I love that album.
So, that's what I'm saying. He got John Legend got 2 classics. My thing is more so. Again, I agree with Q and FIFA when they talk about this offense and how it's played, and I've been talking about late game execution. They've been doing it well through Brunson, but that's not going to work all the time. They should have won in regulation. You know what I'm saying? Brunson's not going to miss that shot a lot. But again, I was nervous about going into OT. But I will say this, that the Celtics are not going to miss that many threes. It's literally impossible to miss that many threes again. And the Knicks perimeter defense, even though they got Mikal Bridges and OG and Josh Hart, it's going to have to step up even tenfold now because Boston got their back against the wall because they're going to be just looking like the Cavs. Where as far as if we go down 0-2, it's going to be ugly.
Ain't no dogs on Boston team that's going to feel like they got their back against the wall.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, you got.
I'll give him Drew.
Drew Holiday is there, and you got Al Horford there too.
Does he matter?
Fight.
Wow,
does he matter though?
Leadership.
Drew's got an injury. Porzingis got an injury. It's a weird illness. I don't know, man.
Y'all so in love with Bronson that y'all just shitting on the whole Celtics team. I just want y'all
I
to
know,
know that's exactly
definitely
what
not
you're
doing that.
Years.
Definitely not
I've been
doing
saying
that.
this
Definitely
years,
not doing
King.
that.
Mike just said they
Yes,
don't have
I'm
dogs.
shitting on them. They ain't got no
They got
dog.
dogs.
They
They
got dogs.
they got dogs.
Well,
I
me and
think
Q,
I
this,
know.
this is what me and Q part ways right here. I'm shitting on them and saying they don't have no dogs unless you count. What's my man name? The point guard that y'all just said,
Drew Holiday.
Drew
You
Holiday.
don't even know
He the
his
only
name,
dog.
bro.
I don't even know his name. He the
And
only
you got
dog
White.
on that team. He the
I
only
think
dog.
Drew,
Derek White too, Lou.
Derek White, and Jaylen Brown are like the three like guys that won it. I think those are the three guys that won it.
I'll concede to that, but I know they main person that's the best person on the team that's supposed to be a dog. He not a dog.
Just say that. Then.
And
Just say you don't like
I feel
Tatum.
that.
Nigga. Hey,
I feel that.
It ain't that I don't like him. I've been watching him. I see it. If you
The
give me
good thing
two
for them
players to
though,
take,
Lou, is they're
if you give me
surrounded.
two
He's
players to
surrounded
take-
by dogs though, so that alleviates some of that
Yeah,
responsibility.
he
All
like
gotta do is
Drake.
play
You know what I'm
ball.
saying? He like Drake. He got a bunch of shooters around him, so it's like, damn, is he dangerous too? I mean, sometimes.
Bro,
I
y'all
heard-
But then
I
sometimes he be,
goddamn
but then
Celtics,
sometimes he
bro.
be looking like ordinary people. You feel me?
Hey
That's
Q,
what-
I
at
heard
the end of the
Drake.
day-
I heard Drake is coming out with a mean solo album coming up next, boy.
We gonna
at
see
the end
about
of the
that.
day, give me Brunson over Tatum any day of the week.
That's
Any
wild.
I can't.
That's
I can't
so
argue.
wild.
I'm not gonna argue with Lou.
Any day.
I'm not gonna argue with Lou. That's all I say. Because if he
Nick, if because you have rose-colored glasses when it comes to Brunson right now.
it's not.
No,
I've been- I've been
nigga,
saying-
nah,
I've been
nigga,
saying-
nah.
Milton, I've been saying. I've been talking. I gave him the name Brum Brum.
It
When y'all
doesn't.
niggas
I don't
didn't
care.
know who he was.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the point. You only care about him. You're gonna do Jalen Brunson the same way you did Julius Randle. As soon as he off the team, he ain't worth a damn to you.
He's giving me legendary Knicks moments. Randall, like, look, you see what Randall doing right now, Sheldon? Nah,
Yeah,
shit. Jack squad. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and you're gonna say the same shit about
Well,
Jalen Brunson.
no.
This you
If
this what
anything,
you
It's coming.
if anything, I'm more so shocked about how consistent he's been. The most consistent player in the playoffs. I'm shocked by his production output coming from his size and everything, and I just am like, I'm more so nervous about the rest of the team. Like, it's basically Cat. Cat had 14. He had a double, 14 and 13, I believe. But he got into foul trouble. Like, if we needed him in that game, he wouldn't have been able to be there because of the foul trouble. So to me, it's like, even when he was in Minnesota, Anthony was like, as a young bull, talking about some nigga, quit taking goofy ass fouls.
Hey, FIFO, do you remember some of the statements Nick was saying about Julius Randle when he was on the Knicks?
He would say he was one of the best power forwards in the league. He would say he was underrated.
Mm-hmm.
He would say he was better than who got traded? Who was on the Hawks that got traded to Utah?
John Collins.
John Collins.
Oh, that's the obvious thing. Y'all,
That's you should
Them
know
niggas
that
damn
one.
near the same thing.
Yeah.
But either way
They
it go,
damn near the same
yeah.
thing.
It was a lot of hype.
100.
And it was just, yeah. So that's why I don't listen to him.
Hey,
the
Ken,
fact you got
first-
Spike pulled
Ken,
into this is
Kim, first
terrible.
of all, with new information, I make new decisions. That's why I was saying the consistency of Brunson is key, but also I need the other players to step up. I need Cat to look like the second best player, if not the best player in this series. Like,
Bridges
he
got to
has
play defense. Bridges got to play defense like he did down the stretch too.
I love what Bridges
He
did, and he was clutch. But to me, Cat is the one that he's the most talented player we have on our team.
But
He
Nick,
has
though,
to. We can't win the series without Cat balling. I'm
But
telling you this
Nick,
right now. Even with what Brunson doing.
but you know what counting on Cat get you. It's the same thing it's always been. So that's why
At some point, like we was just talking about with SGA, though, he got to grow up, though, right?
Who
If he
Cat?
ain't grow-
it's too late.
At some point, he has to show up.
Cat is
some
who
point,
he is.
At some
Is-
point, he has to show up and be the person that he claims that he is, right?
And
Is
he
this year 10 for Cat? This is
Yeah,
this
this
is
is-
this is a
Yeah, it's
decade.
over with. It's over with.
So
Cat is
he
Cat
is-
right now.
Oh, okay, so the person he's shown us so far, y'all saying that's it.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
I think that
There's no-
you know what? I think
Oh,
Cat
no,
gets a
no,
bad
no.
rap. I feel like
get
Karl
what
Anthony
y'all saying,
Towns.
but I don't know if I agree with it.
Karl Anthony Towns gets a bad rap to me sometimes. I understand the soft criticism. I understand all that. I think a more sober view of his game is that he's really talented. he has high highs and he has very noticeable lows. Whereas some players can get by with, having a quote unquote bad game or an off game because they affect the game on other ways. Like, somebody like Brunson could have 14 points in a game, but you could see that he's trying. You could see that he's diving on loose balls. You can see that he's setting up teammates. You can see that he's impacting the game with his gravity, whatever it is, right? Pick and roll, setting guys up. With Cat, he gets in his head a little bit and he gets really frustrated when the shot's not falling or when he's not getting the foul called on him, or when he drives into the paint, because he normally has like one thought process: I'm gonna shoot this ball, and if I'm bricking 4 times in a row, I'm gonna just try to go full steam ahead to the basket. And then when the refs don't reward that because he's going up what some people consider to be weak, he kind of just gets dejected in the game. Defense starts to take a hit. I'd still, on the other side though, as a Knicks hopeful in this series, the highs of Cat, you just got to get 1 or 2 games from him for that to affect the other team. Because if Cat goes off next game and he gets 27, whatever, he can be shitty even the next game after that. But it's the fact that they've seen him do it. I know it sounds like, excuses, but I think Cat just got to lock in on giving us 15 points, 9 rebounds, and anything above that is just a godsend. Anything below that, we really can't accept it.
I would agree with you. I would.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Ken.
No, I'm moving on to the next segment. What you got?
Just real quick, I was going to say I would agree with Q if it wasn't Boston. The fact that you're playing the best team in the league, that's the only reason he's got to give you more every game.
Shelton, worst of the week is up, and Ant could be on it, but I'm sure he's not. Because I think he got like 1 point. They get destroyed right now. They are 0 for 16 from 3 last I checked and shooting 30% from the field. It's awful.
Maybe it's on fire.
They are rusty as hell.
It's got to be rust.
They ended that series early, and the Golden State just got done playing 2 days ago.
Well, they better put the same amount of attention to Golden State like they did the Lakers. Yeah, anyway, what you got, Shelter?
Worst performance of the week, man. My worst performance of the week, you guessed it, Ty Lue and James Harden. You can take your pick, either one, Nick. You can take your pick because both of them got to go. Fans are clamoring for Ty Lue to get off the bench, man. Nick, I'm sorry, but it's time, bro. It's time for both of them to go.
I'm with you.
It's time for both of them to go.
I told you they could blow it all up. I don't see how a Harden trade anywhere, you're not getting nothing back that's gonna make this team better. Ty Lue's been there for too long at this point.
Who would want Harden at this point? That's the thing that I think about. Like what the bad part about this is what you can't trade him because he has he had a player option, and I'm sure he signed that thing before fourth quarter was over with. So in saying that, you stuck with him, and I forgot the number, but it's up there, but it's over with. I mean, there's nothing else Ty Lue can do. There's no moves. He has no counter moves. Nothing left. This was his shot. He had an opportunity to knock Denver off.
This is the last of it.
Yeah. And then you got Kawhi playing his best basketball right now that he has in a long time. So yeah,
just because I was gonna say, just because James Harden selected his option doesn't mean he's not tradable. It just means that wherever he goes to, part of the negotiation is James Harden going to re-up with this particular team. So whoever does trade for him, if it happens, it just has to be a place where they want him. You know what I'm saying? Some place that James Harden wants to live. So a team like Miami that's been desperate for a lead guard like that, they could potentially make that move. You know what I'm saying? I think if I'm James, I would re-up in Miami.
But what you getting back? What are the Clippers getting back?
You think if they had to give up the white boy, would they take James?
Tyler Hero?
Tyler Hero?
Too young. He's way too young to give him up
you
right
can't
now.
give up Tyler Hero.
Yeah, everybody can go. Yeah,
and he's homegrown
too.
In my opinion, this is Orlando's backup plan if they can't get Trae Young. That's what I would do.
Yep.
But what is
And
Orlando
if
giving up to get to
somebody
Everybody
pieces,
minus
pieces.
Franz and Boncaro.
I
Pieces.
wouldn't. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Q.
No, Sheldon, I was also saying just like also we could do it Philly style too. With the San Antonio Spurs, they have De'Aaron Fox the same way they had Tyrese Maxey, and you could put James Harden as like the hey, let me be the ball handler. We need Fox to play not really off ball, but use him similar to how Maxey was. Maxey had the ball in his hands a lot for Philadelphia. Second to Joel Embiid and third to Joel Embiid and James Harden. But I think that the Spurs could use a guy like that too, especially if they're trying to get into the playoffs. You could, impact, Wemby's legacy by being the point guard to set him up and actually help grow Fox's game. There's a couple other spots too, but I would say most certainly teams that are trying to establish themselves but are not ready to make an all-in move would go get a guy like James Harden.
Is it time to pull a Russ move though and have him come off the bench?
Man, I don't know if James Harden is so bad now that his playoff stints should impact him being a starter during the regular season. I still think when I saw him play this year, he still looked like a top 25, top 30 guy to me. Like probably low end of the top 30 or top 25, but he still looked like, okay, he got 40 points tonight, got 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Shit, this guy can still play. I also think it's a little bit hasty with Ty Lue because good coaches are so hard to come by. And I don't think that Ty Lue should be held accountable for the sins of Steve Ballmer. I really don't. I really don't, bro. I really don't.
We have to talk about this later because we already over 2 hours. And
Ken's dismissive. Ken's dismissive of the topic is so hurtful though. He's like, oh, we don't even want to talk about this. Like,
he blaming everybody, bro. This is just crazy. But we got to get the FIFO's power rankings. But what's your final thought on that? What are you gonna say?
I'm just saying, man. I don't think that Ty Lue has much say when you're shipping out guy after guy. You had SGA, you traded him for Paul George. You traded Paul George, or you let Paul George go. Kawhi can't stay healthy. Bring in James Harden. This is not really his team, his construction. So I would like to see him with an owner that makes more sense.
That's a lot of talent. But anyway, go ahead. Let's get to the power rankings.
All righty. So, in lieu of, no pun intended, all pun intended, in lieu of another bad elimination game performance by James Harden, I decided to give you the Harden worst performances, the top 5 worst performances by James Harden. These are all playoff elimination games that I am giving you. At number 5, it is Game 6 when he was back with the Rockets in 2017 against the Spurs. He finished that elimination game with 10 points, 6 assists, and 7 turnovers on 2 of 11 shooting. Obviously, they lost that series. Game 7, back when he was with the Brooklyn Nets back in 2021, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, but he was 2 for 12 from 3. And also had a lot of turnovers. I don't have him on here, but he did have a lot of turnovers that game. At number 3, Game 5, the Rockets versus the Warriors back in 2015. He wound up with 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists on 2 of 11 shooting. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that was the year that they were number 1 or number 2 in the Western Conference. And that was a Western Conference Finals game.
Was Chris Paul hurt that year?
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
No, yeah.
He should have had 50-point triple-double. And if he would have took an L, it is what it is. But we know that he didn't show up in an elimination game. At number 2, Game 7, back when he was with the Philadelphia 76ers in 2023 versus the Boston Celtics. This man had 9.6 rebounds and 7 assists. And these are all elimination games now. And number 1, we just saw it. It is fresh on our minds. Game 7 against the Nuggets. This man had 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 13 assists. What the hell is going on?
I respect this but this is disgusting. As far I respect it because I would have did something similar, but this is disgusting to point these out.
It's like you would have did Jalen Hurts his worst Super Bowl touchdowns,
I
or
would have did that, Q. That's what I said. Q. You picked up on it. I respect it, but this is disgusting.
he would have did Eagles' worst touchdown celebrations against Dallas. Or something.
And this is the reason why at the beginning of the series I told you I don't trust in James Harden. I don't give a damn what they did in the regular season. I don't give a damn about no coach, about Ty Lue, about this, about that, whatever. James Harden, playoff James, is a thing, and we know that you can't hold him accountable, or you should, but you can't, because you know when the game is on the line, he's not gonna show up.
Yeah, and FIFO, I think when we were halfway through this series, yeah, it was one of the things that I pointed out. I was like, they got a James Harden problem. I saw it. I saw him getting passive and being scared to shoot. I'm like, oh man, there it is, and that's where we at. So
I wonder what happens though. I don't understand it. I don't understand what happens.
Oh, he might legitimately have like performance anxiety or some shit, bro. I don't know what the fuck be happening. It's a little. The only one year that I feel like you got to give him the pass was probably the KD Warriors year, because they pushed him to Game 7. He pushed him to 7 games. It's just CP was hurt, and then KD and Steph went absolutely ballistic that fourth quarter, and the Rockets missed like 33. So, but other than that, it's been bad.
All right, let's jump to our super chats and members chats. We'll call it a show. Melanin Man, I repeat, don't sleep on the Dubs. No one is giving them a chance against the Wolves, but the Lakers were cheeks. This matchup is different.
They were not saying that. They said the Lakers was going to the Western Conference Finals, damn near championship. Nah,
I thought the Lakers were finals ready, and then some things clearly transpired in the Wolves series. The Wolves were just bigger sometimes. I mean, this is my problem. Everyone wants to keep blaming these coaches. Everybody wants to blame JJ. Everybody wants to blame Ty Lue. Sometimes you can send your best plan out there, and the other team was just better. I think the Wolves were just bigger. Rudy Gobert was just destroying their interior defense. And Luka Doncic, we just once again come back to what I said years ago. Gotta get in shape because we need you to be a better player than you were. I know y'all seen that Twitter video when they said this is Luka before American food. We need that Luka back. That's all we need.
Well, Q. Well, first of all, I'm speaking for Lou. Pause. Second of all, he went to Texas and then he went to LA. He went to Texas to go to LA. That's the wrong.
He went to Turkey Leg Hut and then he went to In-N-Out.
Yeah, well, there's that, but that's probably one of the best cities for Spanish.
Luka could be at Roscoe's. If he could be at Roscoe's,
Luka is Zion that actually plays.
I mean, y'all gotta stop.
He is the white Zion.
He is the white Zion, bro.
He is not the white Zion. Y'all gotta
He is
stop.
not. Y'all gotta stop
Y'all being
that.
so disrespectful.
Yeah, y'all
You ain't seen Luka with no models.
If Luka just don't have an issue with porn stars, that's okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. Who DMV?
Bro, nah, man.
Hey, we the boys since 2014. Is it Steph era or LeBron era?
It's everybody era.
Both of them.
Oh God, it's LeBron. It's LeBron and Steph's era, bro. LeBron and Steph.
Agreed.
You gotta have.
just like Magic Bird. Just like Magic Bird. It ain't Jordan was the person who did it by himself, and you had the Jordan era. But just like with Magic and Bird, you have the two people with Steph and LeBron. It's their eras.
Yeah.
All right. Dave Bluntz has more stamina than Luka Doncic.
That is so terrible.
That's insane.
Dave Bluntz.
That's insane.
Dave Bluntz,
bro. This is crazy, bro.
Y'all got to get on board, man. Y'all keep giving this guy a pass. Tweets open doors. Which team showed more of a fatal flaw in their loss? OKC or Boston? Celtics shoot too many threes. OKC folds when Shea ain't getting whistles. Ooh.
OKC showed more flaw because they can't stop Joker. With Boston, like people said, if they make 2 threes, we playing the if game. But yeah, if they make 5 more threes than they took, like or
stop shooting the threes and just drive to the
Get
basket.
easier buckets. Get easier
But see,
buckets. They
we're asking. We've been. This is. I just want to let everybody know we're approaching what 7, not 8 years of Jason Tatum now, right? It's 7 years now. We keep saying the same thing about him, and we're almost going at like a decade. So I
Hey,
just want to let people know that's just normally who you are after a while.
Q, they won a title, and Lou, I'm gonna let you talk. Q, they won already a title, so I can't really use that against them. My thing is more Joe.
Yes,
Mazzulla.
they won a title.
But my thing is more Joe, because they talk about the Celtics and OKC. They didn't say a specific player. To me, Joe Mazzulla has to coach. He got out coached by Tibbs last night, which is shocking because most of us don't even think Tibbs deserves to even come back next season potentially. But he got out coached because any coach, just like how we called out JJ, it's an easy adjustment, bro. That's the only reason why I say they don't have a fatal flaw, because there's no adjustment for Joker. You just
But to me, what's the adjustment though? If you're Boston last night,
Stop hunting the three. Stop hunting the three. There was a lot of possessions where, especially Jason Tatum, where they were playing a two-man game, right? Because we know Boston moves the rock. And at times, it'll get stuck between two people. And we're playing, hey, I might drive and kick or DHO or whatever. And there was oftentimes Jason Tatum will give the ball up, and instead of back cutting them and letting somebody else come to fill that spot, or cutting and try to get the ball on the cut or positioning down low, he just got the ball back and forced up a three. They're three hunting instead of playing beautiful basketball. And to me, that's the subtle difference.
They weren't thinking out the possessions like Jalen Brunson and Jalen Brown. Excuse me, Tatum and Brown both had, Jason Tatum and Brown both had Brunson on them as to where they could have thought out the possession more and took him to the post, but they just shot threes like people said. It's not championship basketball.
It was.
They just hunted threes. They
got to
threes.
But my issue,
but it ain't.
My issue is I think that Boston is more hobbled than we're letting on. People know about them, especially with all these injuries and these weird illnesses. And I think that the adjustment you are pointing to would make sense if we weren't asking Tatum and Brown to go against kind of their nature with, backdoor cuts and everything. Jason Tatum, he falls back into his habits. He regresses back to the mean where, all right, you don't want him to shoot threes. He'll do it for a quarter. And then when they get a 20-point lead, I think Boston kind of rests on their laurels. That's their fatal flaw to me, is they're low-key front runners because they're so talented that when they get up 20, they just say, all right, let's just try to bury them. And they kept missing. And I think that now going into the next game, the Knicks will be ready for them on either front. And I think this is the Knicks game 7. And I think that Boston needs to treat this game very seriously.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. We them boys, Kerr on watch, stop it. They are overachieving.
Fuck out of here. Overachieving, my
Yeah, I'll say that all I want to say is that Jimmy Butler, bro, I keep trying to tell y'all gonna stop disrespecting the analysis I be giving y'all. I told y'all when it's playoff time, the man is a superstar. I don't care what nobody says. You
ain't been doing shit in the playoffs.
Hey, Nick,
I'm with you with they up by Denver
21.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Without Steph. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I told y'all and I still got them losing in 6. So
hey, they got 21 with a creative player on the floor.
Losing in 6 Sheldon means what? They got to win 2 of them.
Yeah. Wu Young, better Bells bondsman, Nick or Bernie Mac in Head of State?
Man, that's crazy.
Bernie Mac for sure.
Green Beans, the NBA is floating an idea for next year's All-Star game, USA versus the world, all foreign-born players on one team.
That's the worst.
We don't want that shit, bro. We don't want that shit, bro.
No.
We don't want it, bro.
Yeah. Nah, that's awful. Vibes and stuff. If Luka had Q's condition, he'll be unstoppable.
That's
crazy.
Said that when you was in the gym, Q.
That's crazy.
Donovan Mason, you think the Mavericks would rather have Luka back or Brunson? Because he did win them a series before he went to New York.
That's a good question right now.
Luka ain't been the same since Brun left.
We gonna stop acting like. Can we stop acting like Luka
Luka.
we gotta start acting like Luka went to the finals like 4 years ago. Like it was a calendar year ago, bro.
It wasn't
And
even
like,
a full year, Nick.
yeah, well, it hasn't been. It ain't been. It's been like 10 months.
All I'm saying is that they would have won the
Meaningless.
finals with Brum. They would have won with
stop,
that.
man.
Bro. All I'm saying.
Bro, go to sleep.
I'm just saying.
And they got cooked in that finals too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Like
Oh,
he competed.
God.
Hey, Q,
average Tatum.
Q, it was so bad.
Apparently,
It was so bad that Brian Windhorst fat ass said, "This nigga fat as hell."
This is crazy. That's crazy as shit. That's crazy.
Did he not?
he went
got-
off
you
on Luka.
You got Jason Whitlock out here talking about he just gotta stop. He gotta put
Hey.
on some muscle, man.
Hey, listen, man. Oh man.
Bro, when I seen that kid, this Brian Windhorst ain't never talked with that much bass. He was like, "This nigga."
I almost feel like my chest just never
And JJ just said the same thing, but and Nico said the same thing, and all of the Mavs organization said the same thing. But all y'all motherfuckers keep talking about a goddamn finals appearance. Sebastian Pierre, if Ant-Man loses to this Warriors team without Curry, he is on watch. He keeps losing steam deep in the playoffs.
He just went to the Western Conference Finals last
Losing.
year.
Nigga, Luka just went to the finals. Y'all killing him.
We talking about Ant right now, Q. We talking about Ant.
Nigga, Luka just put a step back 3-piece on you, Gobert to go to the finals, and now he don't like. Come on.
Here's what I'll say about this statement. I think if he went to the Western Conference fight, wait, no, they lost in the second round last year, or
They lost in the conference
Yeah, that's in the
finals.
Western
finals.
Conference. Yeah.
That's the one, because Ant made this comments. We didn't. Ant said that he has to get in better shape to play deep into the playoffs. So if they win the series and the same thing happens, then that's on Ant. I would have to. I won't say he's on watch, but I do agree with them losing steam. But nah, it's according to FIFO, they got to lose a couple, right? So but
True, but he is on watch, Ken, because he puts the pressure on himself, and he has to back it up now. And we know he's great. He's still young. He just got to back it up.
Yeah, it's fine. But Curry has a hamstring issue, by the way, so we don't know how that's.
Yeah, that's gonna linger.
They down 21 right now with no Curry. That's crazy.
No, he'll be.
Y'all
be
stop.
okay.
This is just game one. Don't overreact to this game.
Game one on a rusty team.
Yeah, you can't overreact to this game, buddy.
So now they rusty.
Crazy.
Now they rusty.
That's how we caught Boston.
A lot of the teams that were on rest lost their game ones.
It's
Except
crazy.
I'm gonna tell you like
Cavs
this.
just lost game.
It's
two.
crazy how many upsets been in this round of the playoffs though. Like, has there been one game that's won according to plan?
Nah,
I'm gonna tell you like this.
None of them.
I can hear Rusty in certain contexts. I don't want to hear Rusty when you got a thoroughbred on your team like Anthony Edwards. I just don't want to hear Rusty when in that specific case.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
In
Ant was
93,
0 for
in
8.
93, there was no Rusty, bro. Jordan came out and did his job.
Stop it, Spike. There was Rust. We've been talking.
We be talking
about this shit for decades, bro.
94 when Jordan came out and did his job.
This is not a new thing. We didn't invent this in 2025. What are you talking about?
I don't agree with y'all. When Jordan was on his run and y'all
forget Jordan. What about the other teams that played? Jordan wasn't the only motherfucker playing in the 90s.
He was the best.
But he wasn't the only one. And when we talk about Russ, and we talk about teams, we're talking about Jordan. That's not act like Jordan ain't struggle. I was just watching the game where he struggled.
He did
in the playoffs.
He did struggle. You're
right. All right. And they lost the game.
They still won. They
lost the game.
Look, I know it's different sports, but whenever Tom Brady got a first round bye, came back the very next week and was still kicking ass. It wasn't we gotta wait till halftime for Tom to get right. Maybe in his older years, Peyton Manning, same thing. Maybe in his older years, but when it was time, it's time, bro. Like if you're the guy, if you're a top 5 guy, like people are saying, Anthony Edwards, I'm putting that on you, the coach, get everybody ready, rally the troops. It's time to storm the castle, bro. There is no as if you didn't know that the Warriors just came off of Game 7. As if you didn't know Steph Curry is not going ballistic on people. As if you didn't know Jimmy Butler's not on that team. You knew. So it's time to go up. You know what I mean?
Ken, let's move on because he brought up Tom Brady, and we ain't doing that tonight.
Yeah,
Let's keep
I
going.
don't know why we even brought him up on this pro-black program.
Yeah.
Terrence
Questionable.
Galbert, what do you think about OKC fouling at the end of the game? I prefer to make the team hit the 3 over fouling. At least you can go to OT.
It
I don't think that matters.
It was a great plan, Terrence. If Chet had made the free throws,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, they should have. Yeah, that's going to me. That's more inside baseball, going too much in the weeds of it. If Chet make that, and that takes a lot of accountability off of Chet, because they were trying to come at the head coach, and I commend the head coach of OKC for saying they were following my orders. Put that on me. But Chet makes them free throws. We ain't really talking about the shot.
Right.
Point blank. Period. He
Also,
missed both of them too.
Also, Nick, we need to stop forcing the whole Chet versus Wembanyama shit. Let's stop that now.
Oh, that never should have been.
I'm sorry. I like Chet Holmgren a lot.
I don't.
But to me, he's more skinny Steven Adams than he is Wembanyama, bro. I can't
even say that, Q, because Steven Adams is a dog. We can't even call Chet a dog yet.
I think Chet got a dog in him. It's just that he's too light, bro. He's too light. Nah, he's a Great Dane. He's too light, bro. He's too wiry.
He built like Chester Cheetos, and that's why I don't believe it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't believe it.
Little talented Sam Hauser.
I don't know, man. OKC, they got a team full of like Twitch streamers and shit. I just it's too juvenile to me, bro. When y'all look at OKC, they look mad childish to me, bro. I just
the commercials
they look. They look like kids, bro.
The commercials are not helping, bro.
Yeah, it's not.
Because one of them do look like a tall Kai Sanat.
Bro, and do look like Duke Dennis, the light skinned dude who always I'm like, what is going on? So I don't really look at OKC as a threat because Shai Gilgeous is too busy posing in his underwear and shit. The other dude is a Twitch streamer. The other dude is fucking Calvin Klein model. It's way. And then you go to Denver and they got this tough Serbian mercenary. They got this Slavic, you know what I'm saying, Terminator dude. Aaron Gordon is dunking out the fucking gym, and Jamal Murray is a straight bucket in the playoffs. And then you go to OKC, and it's just you got a bunch of little pups. I think SGA is MVP, but bro. And then you got Russ. Come on, bro. You got
Bompton's
straight mercenaries. Yeah. Grown men versus it looks like we're watching the McDonald's all American team go up against I don't know, bro.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it, man. We appreciate everybody for sending over their super chats and member chats. We appreciate you. And we're gonna call it a show, man. We'll leave it there. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.